Yeah, I just left you a while
I got
ago.
my headset up and shit. What's good, gang?
Nah, that's all good. Yeah, when you said
Say
you
less.
had to go to the podcast, I said I bet you going to Oculos.
Oh, you already know it. Had to
Yeah,
slide.
I said he probably going there. Hey man,
Had
what's
to
going on,
slide.
Starlight?
What's going on?
You good?
Yeah, good.
Already. Hey, what's up, man? Right. Man, I like your name, bro. Better man.
Yeah, that's a fire ass
What,
name.
what y'all gonna be talking about tonight? I don't know.
Today is about sneak recording. I'm already subscribed.
No,
All
it's
right,
special
what
guest.
is up, y'all? If we got anybody in
Yeah.
the front row, appreciate y'all. If y'all could either mute or party up, appreciate y'all being in the house. We are live streaming tonight, just like every Sunday night here on Horizon Live here in Horizon Worlds. We are going to be on the Super channel, so if you want to watch on Super's channel in case you get kicked out, or if you want to watch on the Vidyuu Nights channel, please do. Otherwise, come on back in case you do. But we are 3 subscribers away from 1,000 subscribers on the Vidyuu Nights channel. I was saying before the stream started, Vidyuu Nights was created as a way to be able to have a fun side of the Vidyuu brand. We got the Vidyuu tutorials, is all the things you can learn in Horizon. Learn how to build, learn how to script, level up your skills, leading into now Vidyuu verification, which we talked about last week, right here on this stage with Lakes 05 and Mad Rabbit. So if you haven't checked that out after the stream, maybe another day, check that out. Learn everything you need to know about Vidyuu verification, a little bit more about Lakes 05 behind the scenes, how he handles with people in the comments and people in the DMs, because not just me, not just y'all, even Lakes gets negativity and hate sometimes because not everybody's going to agree, not everybody's going to believe in what you believe in. And it was interesting last week. If you missed it, he gets it too, and he handles it the same way that we do. Sometimes we hear these things and we start to believe them if we hear them enough times, and so he usually comes at it with just another video, goes ahead and removes that negativity from his headspace and just puts that energy back into more ways to help the community. So if you didn't get a chance to, check it out, Vidyuu Nights. And for those of y'all who are in the crowd tonight, those of y'all watching, hit that subscribe button. We're literally 3 away from 1,000. It would be amazing to be able to hit 1,000 tonight before we end. But for y'all here, appreciate y'all being here. We're going to have amazing guests tonight. We're going to have people from the audience come up here. That's how we do it every week if you've never been here before. So, Horizon Live, a little bit of background. We started this as an extension of what we were doing before the beta opened up for creator spotlights. And instead of doing creator spotlights every week, we decided to do something special and have Horizon Live as that big event when we did the launcher competition winners, when we had the LGBTQ plus world that was created by Sassy 3K to educate people on everything you need to know about the LGBTQ plus community. We had Lakes and Merc up here on stage talking about the origins of Horizon Worlds, starting with no tools and really growing things with Horizon, growing the tutorials, growing the worlds, being able to elevate other people in the community. Like all of those messages that we wanted to share at the time, we did it for the channel, but we realized after we came out of the beta, people actually want to come in, they want to learn things, they want to hear about what's real behind the avatar. They want to talk about things that they can take away to be able to put into their worlds, learn how to build, learn how to script, and maybe just learn a little bit about another creator. And that's why I love this format, because we have this mic up here. If you've never been here before, that mic is live. You want to walk up, you want to ask a question, you want to discuss a new topic, if you want to talk on whatever the topic is, feel right at home. Walk up to the mic and be like, "Hey, I got something to talk about. What we're talking about right now," and give your feedback, because we want to hear from the community. Not sure if y'all know who I am. I'm Oculus 410. I've been in the community since last February, and my goal since literally my second day here has been to try and elevate people in the community, be able to find people resources if they're looking for help building and scripting, be able to network and find new people to connect with, and just resources to make it better in here for you, but to grow this community to make it even better than what it is the day before. And that's what I'm really here for, is to just give y'all something extra to take home with you, whether it's to help you build and script, if it's to help you in your personal life, maybe just better understanding of another person, or if you just want to be here and to find out what tonight's topic is, and maybe it's something juicy that you want to hear about, you want to speak on. Tonight's topic, if you didn't know, it's about sneak filming. Sneak filming started off as something as a joke Me and Super actually. Super was recording in Comedy Lit, and I would always run up to him and I would say, "I do not consent. I do not consent." And it was the running joke for a while because I was actually just having a good time and laughing with Super because everybody knew at the time Super was recording for TikTok, for Reels, Instagram, Facebook, and now he has his live streaming channel. So shout out to Super for continuing on, even if early in when you start streaming and when you start posting videos, you know how hard it is to get some traction. It's hard to get those views. It's hard to get people to follow and like and to subscribe. I think in the time that I've been sitting here, one person, bro, we're
What?
doing this again.
Already?
Hey, wait. Why do you
Oh
want to
my
move?
god.
All right, so just as a warning, I'm gonna go ahead and start recording on my headset too. And at the end of the show, I'm gonna send it off to Oculus support, and they're gonna find out whoever's doing the poll to remove. So feel free to continue doing it because it's logged every time you hit that poll to remove. If y'all don't know about me, I'd love to send this off to Oculus. So whoever's doing it, feel free to leave. I won't judge you. I won't follow you. But if you continue doing it, guarantee when I send this tape to Oculus support, they're gonna suspend you. So with that being said, back to what I was talking about with hard being a streamer, a content creator, hard to get people to follow you, to be able to support you. I know there's a couple people out there that make content. Shout out Jay Dunn, Joy Rain, my favorite couple in the metaverse. Nothing against any other couple, but they just right up there with, might not even be like that big of a difference because I love everybody equally. But Jay Dunn, he been putting out content, and the day I seen him the first time, I thought he had a million subscribers. I legit thought he had a million followers. His energy, his content, his quality. I was like, he already has a million followers. They just haven't found him yet. I don't even know how you can't just feel that same energy and wanting to hit follow, hit subscribe, hit like, show that love to people. And that's something that I used to struggle with. I would watch videos and I would like them and I would just keep swiping. And I finally realized that all it takes is just me hitting like, me hitting follow, and it's helping them. It's helping them get support. It's helping them get their videos to get traction, to be able to get their videos and their content to be seen by more people. So the best part about supporting somebody is that it's free. It's free. It literally takes nothing. If I have everybody flip their headsets up right now and go to getting things done and just drop a subscription, drop a like, drop a follow, it costs nothing. Hey, it costs y'all 10 seconds of your time, and I apologize for using it up, but do it because Jay Dunn, he puts out amazing content. And if y'all can please do the same for Vidyuu Nights, because again, Vidyuu, Lakes '05, he's been in here since day one, finding ways to be able to learn so that way he could create content for people in order to be able to grow their skills and be able to grow their talents. And when it comes to creating content that's watchable, that's entertaining and educational, it's like, how do I get all three into one video? And every single time, you're always trying to hit that mark and you just come up short. So, the best thing that you can do if you want to support somebody, just do it. Just go do it. It's free. So, Jay Dunn, Vidyuu Nights, Super, Vidyuu tutorials. We even got a Spanish speaking channel for when we open up to the Latin American and Spanish speaking countries, Tutoriales en Español. I mean, we're creating content to help people, and all we're asking for is just support. So please support other content creators, support other creators, support people who are trying to just make something in this metaverse happen because that's the dream for a lot of us, right? How many of y'all want to make it out here and make money in the metaverse? How many of y'all want to make money out here? There's a lot of people. Now, how many people of looking around the room point to somebody that you support right now, whether it's a like, a subscribe, point to somebody who you're subscribed to or you like. Yeah, there's quite a few people that are showing love out there. I love it. And I appreciate the honesty pointing to yourself because you got to love yourself too. Show yourself some love once in a while because that's what matters. And I'm pointing to Super because I support Super. I support Felso. I support Dragons. I support Burden. I support Donnie. I support Jay Dunn. I support each and every one of y'all out here every single day. I do it every single day for each one of y'all. There's no day that passes by when I put this headset on and I think today's for me. Today is for me and only me. I'm literally out here trying to figure out how I can support y'all better, how I can do something more to make y'all's experience in here better. And I hope by doing that, even if it's one person out of this room full of like 20 people, if one of y'all takes away from this and goes and helps somebody else, That's what that's what makes it all worth it. Literally, if I just get somebody out there and they're like, "Hey, you got a YouTube channel? I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe to it because I was at Horizon Live, and Oculos said just supporting somebody's free." We did it 2 weeks ago with Voice Guy. If y'all were here when the Voice Guy was here, he got up to the mic. He said, "Hey y'all, I just want to know, what do I need to do to grow my channel? I'm a new content creator. I'm on YouTube. I would really like to find a way to be able to grow. Y'all are out here doing it. You got, a couple thousand subscribers on Vidyuu Nights. You got 4,000 plus subscribers on Just Ask Carlos. What do I need to do to get these people to follow me? What do I get to do to these people to like my content?" I said, "Everybody, headsets up right now. If nobody's staring at the sky right now, I know you're not doing it. Headsets up. Go like Voice Guy's content." Everybody in the room was looking at the sky. He was like, "Oh my God, I just got 8 new subscribers." And then he hit 100 or something at the end of the week. And he literally posted it. "Thank you so much for everybody who's supporting my channel." I was the first comment on there, I'm pretty sure. I said, "Absolutely. I appreciate you showing up. That was my way of showing love back to you." And I'm hoping that that growth is continuing. So if you're out here not showing love for somebody, what are you here for? Like, what's your purpose? Do you want to build to kind of express your creativity? That's great. But without people to visit your world, what is your world doing? Saturday, all the way back to Monday after this wraps up tonight, from Monday morning until Saturday, this world will say 0 out of 29 people. You know why? Because there's nobody in here until this show, because there's nothing going on. So your worlds without people are going to be in that same situation. So if you don't have a community of people that you're showing love to and you're being genuine and they actually genuinely want to support you, they're not going to come to your world unless you actually give them a reason to. If you say, "Hey, I just built a new world," how many people are saying, "Let's go there now"? I definitely do it. I still do it. I remember when Rhonda X, if y'all know Rhonda X, show of hands out there. Who knows Rhonda X? A lot of y'all know Rhonda. Rhonda showed up in a world because I said, "Friend me up, and if you see me online, join me wherever I'm at." Rhonda joined us in a world. We were literally going to check out somebody else's world. We were just doing a tour of their world. And she was like, "I'm sorry, Oculus, I don't mean to bother or interrupt you, but I just wanted to know if you could check out my world sometime." I was like, "I'm going to do you one better. Everybody, let's go party up." We go into Rhonda's place. We took the entire group of people to Rhonda's for the first time. She had just published this world, and we spent the whole night there partying at her mansion. Literally just took everybody out of that world and was like, "We're going to go support a new creator because that's what this place should be about." And since then, every time I see Rhonda online, if she's in a talk on burdens, if she's on a talk for Hardy West on one of his calls, if she's doing something like the True Self World for MasterCard, I've showed up every single time I've known about something happening because I'm beyond proud of everything she's doing, even though she doesn't need my support. It's her and so many others. When I see y'all out here succeeding and doing well, I'm going to show up for y'all. And that's why I invite y'all every single week to come here without knowing who the guest is. Y'all don't even know who's going to be on stage. It says my name up there. So y'all don't even know who's going to come up. I mean, I could invite Superbot up here and I could literally just talk to a bot all night. I'm sure y'all would leave when you found out it was Superbot, but y'all right now don't know who's coming up on stage. So I think I've talked enough about supporting the community for this moment, and I at least want to bring up somebody from the audience so we can start this off and be able to talk a little bit. So what I like to do every week, look around the room, look at all these people in this audience. Some of these creators you might not even know. You might not realize that Felso out here, he's supporting the community with his own group, Culture and Horizon Worlds. You might not know Burden's got a show every Wednesday, and he's at giving people a platform to ask the question and speak the truth. You might not know Jay Dunn and Joy Rain out here just published their new worlds, and you can check out the Dunverse, and you can go see Joy in the morning. You can go support them through buying merch. There's so many people in this room that are influential, that are doing amazing things.
I need a
all you gotta do
hoodie.
is just click on their name tag and just make friends. So what I
I'm
want to
not
do
surprised.
is point around the room who you think should come up on stage. Who you think out there in the audience should come up on stage? Who you want to see? We've already seen Jay Dunn and Joy. I would love to have them again. I really would, because they're amazing people. As I've already talked them up. I mean, I'm probably one of their biggest fans, if not, I'm their biggest fan. So we got people pointing over here. We got Felso pointing at himself. the mayor, the mayor's telling y'all to vote for him. He's never too shy to tell people to vote for him. Oh, Price is pointing to Felso. We got Robo. All right, we got a lot of people pointing. Well, let's go ahead and bring to the stage the mayor of the metaverse on mute,
What the fuck was
Felso.
that? That was crazy. Jesus Christ.
And he
Well, look.
drops the F bomb, the
Thank
first
you.
word out of his mouth.
Jeez,
Fantastic.
man. I forgot. We're on
I'm gonna
live.
need this.
My bad.
So we
What up?
are
What up?
live. We've probably got people underage watching as well. So come on up a little bit. Let's hear your nasty mouth in person.
My apologies.
What's good,
I'm not used to
Felso?
being censored. Hello,
I'm
hello.
digging the
Akilos,
look.
my
I'm
friend.
digging the look.
Thank you. You see,
That's
I
what's up.
tried to coordinate. Tried to look nice.
Yeah, you're looking better than me. I should switch chairs with y'all. If y'all don't know Felso, Felso's out here not only supporting the community on Instagram, on Facebook, he's out at everybody's worlds just promoting and sharing love, obviously telling everybody to vote for Felso because he's the mayor. But I mean, you even started a group. Talk about the group real quick.
Basically, Culture and Horizon Worlds was just created to have a platform for a voice for all of us. You know what I'm saying? Just somewhere I felt like we were represented in my eyes as the right way. You feel me? Like nothing too forward, just a nice group for people of color to come and speak on their grievances and share a world and support each other. That's all. That's what I'm about, man. Support, love, and community.
That's amazing. And I love that you threw in there the ability to be able to speak on issues, to just get it out there. But of course, that positivity, always positivity. He's muted.
Always positive. It was my dog, but always positivity. Nothing else but positivity.
That's right. I mean, the funny thing is, we might joke a little bit about positivity, but it's kind of a buzzword in the metaverse. When people talk about positivity, it's easy to say, I'm starting a group and it's going to be about positivity. I'm doing a movement and it's about positivity. But if the first thing out of your mouth after you create that is negativity, where's the accountability? Where's it doesn't make
sense. A lot of people do that for forward motion of self. People just want to, use community and the word positivity to push their brand. Like, hey, I'm connected to all this positivity, but in hindsight, they're actually very, very negative, and it's crazy.
Yeah. And so I love to talk to you more about the group, but I want to talk to you about where you started when you came into Horizon, because I always love to talk about, since day 2, I've been about the community. And since the day I met you in tours, you've been a positive influence. You've been a positive voice. You've been just, this energy that draws people to you. What was it like when you first came into Horizon for you?
Friendly.
And when did you get in here?
I got in here, I want to say right before New Year's. So late December, but it was friendlier. It's still inviting. It's still great. But for creatives, it was just like, hey, I got an idea. Oh, you do? Let's go build it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go. What do you have? Let's trade or whatever. We were sharing worlds. It was way more inviting. It was way more friendly. There was clicks, but it was just big groups of people. We would just go world hop and explore, type in a random letter in the search bar and just go to a random world we've never seen before. Things like that don't necessarily take place. I feel like a lot of people are I don't want to say big headed, but there's money coming in, there's brands coming in, and the vibes changed a lot. But I really wish that we can get back to that positive, sharing, loving vibe. That was fun time in the beginning earlier.
It's kind of bittersweet to hear somebody had an amazing first experience, because number one, the fact that you did have a good experience is the amazing part.
Absolutely.
A lot of people come in here like me and they either don't find people to connect with, they don't find resources, and they think that the information is behind a paywall. And so to hear that is incredible, and I'm so grateful that you had a good experience. But just like you said, people were bringing businesses in really quick, as quick as they could, to try and make money, because metaverse is the big buzzword of 2022. And even with all that negativity and people who are forcing their way into the community to try and essentially pull money out of people before even building something, how did you combat that in your day to day, from when you started to where you are now? All of the people that are trying to take advantage of people and sell them worlds and reusing assets and all the things that people have been doing over the last 6 months that
I combat
you've
that.
seen.
Not to cut you off, but I combat that with giving out things free. Like I've created asset packs. Dutch is my other half. She creates asset packs, and we've been giving stuff out for free since day one. Day one, just here you go. Going to the plaza. Of course, saying, hey, I got worlds and da da da. But do you know how to build? You want to learn how to build? We've spent countless hours in build mode with people that are unfamiliar, and that's what gave me kind of the launch into, I don't want to say fame, but being well known around here, because it was more of good intentions. Always, I got a good heart. I'm helping people learn how to build. I'm getting people to where they need to be. I'm connecting people, and that's what it's about to me, anyway.
That's that's amazing. Now I
Yeah,
think was it Felso's house I seen that you made videos, you made that walkthrough to Cribs. Was
yeah,
that
yeah. We
Felso's
did the Cribs
house?
episode at Felso's house.
Tell me about that build because that house was actually really impressive and I didn't know what kind of builder you were, and when I saw that
Yeah,
video I was really impressed. Tell me about that
thank you,
house.
sir. Early on, all I wanted to do was art. I came in here as a rapper. To be honest, to talk about my start, I came in here as a rapper. And not to be one-sided or one-dimensional, but I'm a rapper. I come in here, I go to the stew, I go where rappers hang out, I talk rapper stuff, and I do rapper things with rappers. I am also a person that sketches, and I paint on canvas, so I kind of wanted to transfer that into here. So when I learned how to build, because boy, was that a process, as I know all of you are very familiar, that was a very tough process. Some of us are faster than others, but when I finally got it to my way and I can express myself, it was off to the races, bro. And I just always had an idea for a home that I wanted to see. I wanted to see it on stilts. I wanted a cool car den, you know what I'm saying? So I just took my
Mhm.
imagination, said this is what I want to see, and I made it come true, you know? And we've come a long way. Like shout out to Rex. Rex's Rex's house is like my dream house. So like, man, like to see the things that people have built in here is like price, and all of y'all, man, y'all are some talented people out there, man. We've come a long way. Real talk.
I love looking out in the audience every few I don't want to say every few minutes, but it's like every topic I look back to the audience and I recognize somebody new out there. I see
Yeah,
somebody talented creators, all of these artists and builders and scripters and creators. Y'all really are making this metaverse better. Every single
yeah.
world that y'all publish. And for those of y'all who haven't gotten into creation mode yet, don't worry because there's time for you whenever you feel comfortable. Like
Get
the
in
hardest
there.
part of creation is just get in
Get
there.
in there. Get in there, man. Just start. You'll figure it out. You'll learn your
Were you
style. You'll
reluctant to
become
build when
comfortable.
you first got
Very
in?
much so. Very much so. I was very intimidated. Like shout out to Hardy. I went to Hardy World, and I'm like, how the heck does this like how do you manipulate these shapes to do this? And I'm seeing brands and labels, and I'm seeing these certain shapes that I just
Mhm.
know aren't in this index of shapes, but nonetheless he made it happen. So when I finally got up in there and I learned how to do what I did, it was fun. It becomes fun, so don't be scared. Just get up in there and learn how to build. You'll be all right. Take a day or two and take it serious. You'll be just fine.
Yeah, my first time in build mode, I was thinking of it like playing with blocks when I was in, grade school and playing with Legos, just putting pieces together and making something. Like I'm by far not an artist. I'm not a world creator by any means, but I'm a world collaborator, and that's a huge difference.
Yeah,
For what I mean by that is when I first got in here and I wanted to do world testing because I had no skills when it came to creating or scripting, I just wanted to be in build mode with people to be able to give feedback, to be able to do some world testing, try and break things, make things better for when people came to enjoy that world later. And through world testing, I got just a small glimpse into world creation, and they were just like, just do it, just push that, create new world, and just get in there and just play with shapes, and you'll be surprised. And
yeah.
I couldn't believe after I just started putting shapes together what I came up with. And what you've come up with has just been incredible. Those art worlds. Talk about
Thank
those
you, sir.
art worlds from your first one to I guess you got the Heart Project now.
Yeah, the Heart Museum just dropped today, and my cousin Price has a featured piece in there, just a museum. And I just wanted to think of something easy that everybody could build, because I'm just going around asking for donations. So that goes for any of you in the audience. If anybody wants to make a donation to the Heart Museum, make a heart in a blank world, make me an editor, and you'll be in one of the museums. It's easy as that. And I just wanted to create something that everybody could share. It's a community build. Like whoever you are, if you don't know me, add me. We can go get started. If you don't know how to build, I'll teach you how to build a heart tonight. You know what I'm saying? Just hit me up and we can get it. But as far as my art
Um,
worlds, I try to be expressive and put a piece of me in every world. My first one, Basquiat, as my big inspiration. So you'll see the crown everywhere. The second one was I think Shadows, and that's like my most popular world, I guess, or most popular art world, I guess you would say, just because of all of the raw emotion that I put in there, a lot of real feelings in there about suicide,
right.
depression, things of that nature. And I got a few other ones, man. I'm just an expressive guy, and when it comes to art, if you want to build off your feelings. Come build with me, and we'll make something dope. That's how I build. I build with my heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I want to touch on that too. When you were talking about like feelings of depression, suicide, anger, all these feelings that if you don't get a chance to talk to somebody about them, we were talking a couple weeks ago with Lolly D, and Lolly D, she actually was starting her show. Let's what is it? Let's talk about it with
Let's
Lolly
talk about
D.
it.
Now she's going to be doing her talk show, and it's to give people a chance to be able to get these circumstances that you're experiencing in the real world, whether it's domestic abuse, any kind of abuse, honestly.
Yeah.
If you've got a violent relationship, if you're going through depression, if you're thinking about harming yourself, like this is getting people up on stage that are comfortable talking about it to be able to share that experience with other people that are just not sure they can get help. We have people up on stage just talking about going through it and how they got out of those situations. So make sure y'all definitely, if you don't get the chance, just anybody on your friends list, get in that inbox and just tell them, I just need to vent. I just need to talk, because they would rather hear you vent and you cry for an hour than to hear
Then
that you did
yeah,
something
hear the
to
bad
harm
news.
yourself,
Yo,
for sure.
this is
So
by far not a game to a lot of people. This is a very, very healing social experience for a lot of people that can't necessarily go outside and speak to people like they want. And you know what I mean? This is the safe social environment that a lot of people need. So, I feel like this has a lot of healing properties too. I love Horizon for that aspect, for real. For building and also giving people a safe space to say, hey, we're friends. I'm going to kick it with my friends, or be on a talk show. They might not be as comfortable speaking in public, but here they're, Johnny Carson or whatever. You feel me?
and that's true. Horizon really has given people pretty much anything they could dream of in Horizon Worlds. If you want to build and you want to show your creativity, build. If you want to learn how to script and create these rich environments, go script. If you just want to have a social interaction, or if you want to find help, if you're battling some kind of addiction, there's worlds for pretty much everything that you're looking for. And the best
Yeah.
part is, if you can't find it, go build it. If you can't find one that you
Word.
like, build one better. There's so much opportunity out here, and it doesn't have to be beautiful. I can tell you right now, this world was built before the beta opened up, and a lot of what you
Different instances be stacked filled with people to come see our performances was crazy to me because this is early. Like this is one of the first things that really went like that in here. So I'm kind of nervous. I'm on stage like, oh man, we're about to perform in front of all these live meta people. But you know, we did what it did. I want to bring it back, man, because that was fun. That was true. That was a good time. That was a good time.
Yeah, it's funny because while I'm out, I was like, I'm dead set on getting in here. Like I'm going to be
Yeah, you
on that
definitely was in
stage.
there too.
So I came back for one of the test nights. I guess it was a test night. It wasn't like a live
Yeah.
performance planned event. And it was only like 2 people on the red squad, and there was 3 on the black squad. And I was actually in here with somebody from Meta, and I'm sitting at the table with him, and we're laughing. And then I was just like, "Oh no, red squad's getting treated terrible. I need to get up there." And I was like, "You know what? Forget it. I'm doing it." And I got up on stage, and I was literally just going back and forth with it, and I just felt amazing. And then when we won, I was just like, "Yes!" Like I
That
helped
belt
get to
meant
that point.
everything. That belt meant everything. It did.
Wilding Out was so much fun, and I think we need more like improv shows, but it's just
Yeah.
really hard because improv, it doesn't translate as well, like Whose Line Is It Anyway or any of those improv shows. But Wilding Out, jokes is jokes. Like if you
Yeah.
joking
We
somebody,
saying
it
whatever we
doesn't
want.
even matter. Like Felso could say I've had the same jacket on for the last 8 months, and that would be
It's very
hilarious.
true.
But I
It's
mean,
it's
it's true.
you did it. You're so deprivating.
Yep. But it's real though because it's
Yeah.
like jokes is jokes. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It
So,
doesn't matter if it's the
have you
meta.
been a
It's
part of
hilarious.
anything else besides Wildin' Out like that? Because I need to
Nothing,
find more comedy in my life.
nothing like comedy wise improv. Just stopping by a few comedy spots and roasting people. Of course, you know, willingly and it'd be all willing participants, and we're just going back and forth. I've stopped in a few places and told some jokes. That's more the culture. But I haven't really been
Yeah.
anywhere that was just like Wildin' Out. But I would love to see that, you know, duplicated or something different. I would love to do that again in any way, shape, or form. Like Whose Line is it anyway is a good example. Like I would love to do that. That's super fun to me.
Yeah, it's like Whose Line Is It Anyway? I think I've done like actually in person and like hanging out with the guys, going away for the weekend, having some drinks and just doing
Yeah.
improv. Jokes was like one of like really good memories of actual friends out in the real world. But in here it's like every single night that I'm in here, if I just go to a world and I hang out with somebody for like 20 minutes, I'm having a blast. And it's like
Yeah, that's a
I'm
fact.
literally sitting in my office chair with no shoes on
Yeah.
and I'm laughing it up,
At
with
your
a bunch of
most
people.
comfortable moment. Like, yeah, just chilling.
Yeah,
That's what I love about this too.
for real.
I'm in my robe right now, just drinking hot tea, cooling.
Yeah, exactly. So, Felsa, I want you to shout somebody out. It could be one person, it could be 20, but shout out some people that have influenced you and have helped you along the way because one of the great
Oh
things about
man.
being in here is having people that have literally just supported you back. It means the
Man,
world to be
listen.
able to support somebody, but being able to have somebody just want to support you, like it blows my mind. So, I want to give you the opportunity to shout out some people.
Yeah.
And of course, we're not going to be able to name everybody. I know you got
Yeah,
a
I'll
lot of
name
people that have influenced
I'll
you.
name I'll name three off the top of my
Oh,
head.
three.
I will
All
say
right.
number
In no
one,
order,
first and
particular order.
foremost, is Metaclean Rupert. My guy, OG, he's
Oh,
guided me through so much and shown me so much.
confetti
He's the
everywhere right
definition
now.
of he's the definition of community. He's shown me everything that I need to know. He's tried to help. He's helped me in the physical. That's my guy. I love him.
Mm.
Number two, Oculos.
Hold on,
He's
hold on,
been
hold on, hold on, hold on.
wearing
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry. I was
it
going to get on
would
that
be me. I'm
jacket.
trying to cut
He's
you
been
off, and
wearing
it's
that
me.
jacket for
Ugh.
8 months now.
Hold on. Look,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
a little bit more support, and I can afford a new avatar outfit. So, um, I want to stop right there with Metaclean Rupert.
Yes,
Seriously,
sir.
enough
Yes,
confetti
sir.
cannot be thrown for Metaclean
Yes, sir.
Rupert,
Yes,
please.
sir.
His meta talks, I was blessed enough to be able to close out season 2. But in all
Mm-hmm.
reality, I asked a bunch of creators at one point. I said, "Can you tell me? Doesn't matter how many people you name. When you think of community leaders, can you please just give me some names?" Because I was actively trying to find people that are leaders
Yeah.
out here in the community, and it's hard to be able to do that when you're not everywhere. And every single person, no lie, every person I asked said Metaclean Rupert in that list, whether it was first, second, third, didn't matter. Metaclean Rupert was on everybody's list, and I had already
Yeah.
known at that point.
Great guy.
Metaclean Rupert is just a phenomenal force in the metaverse, whether it comes to the positivity, the
Mm-hmm.
community, his drive, his passion for supporting people through the meta talks, giving people a platform to be able to share those gems to help people. His work that he does just to elevate others. That's the best number one that I could even think of,
That's a
and I've
fact.
got
I
so
had
many on
to.
my list. But
OG, man. OG is
amazing.
he's a great guy. He's shown me a
Let's talk
lot.
about
And like
number
I said,
two, who's tied
number
for
two,
first.
it's a
Who was you putting
very,
at
very
second?
funny looking guy that I know named Akilos.
Yeah.
Just and I'm not being funny like, oh, I'm on your show, I'm gonna name you,
Thumbs
bro,
down.
and you know this, and you know
Thumbs
he
down.
knows this. He knows how supportive and how great he is. We have personal conversations. We've talked. He's helped me with things I've needed help with.
I'm not Venmoing you
He's
for
always
this.
supported me since day one. And no matter how bad he talks about me behind my back, I know he's always had a liking for me, and it's been the same for him. Great dude,
I'm
and
changing
always
my
loving and
password.
supporting. You know what I'm
You're in my
saying?
DMs, reading my messages.
And number three, I'm gonna say Hardy as far as inspiration, because he was somebody that when I came inside here, it was like, hey, look what he's doing. I want to do something like that. You know, as far as for as me, a person of color, a black man in the metaverse, I didn't know how I would fit. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I know I didn't want to be one-sided. I just knew that I knew how to rap and I was very artistic. And that's translated well, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say Meta number one, Oculus number two, and Hardy number three, just for pure inspiration and guidance throughout the metaverse, horizon, if you will.
No, I know this is going to end up as a soundbite somewhere, so I'm gonna say it anyway. I think that's the first list where I'm one up on Hardy. Usually, Hardy's up
Uh,
there before me.
Hey man, it's and as far as
Shout out
inspiration,
Hardy
I
though.
I give I give Hardy all his credit due. But as far as me and my experience within Horizon Worlds, you have been by far inspirational, and not only inspirational, you've been a help to me in my personal life and real experiences that I've been through in real life. So for that, I appreciate you, and I love that we call each other bro. You know what I'm saying? We mean that. You feel me?
That's right. And then to put some context behind that. So if y'all didn't know in the past, me and Hardy when we first met, we didn't actually meet, and that was the reason behind that early on drama and that conflict. And when he came in, he was ready. He was prepared.
Mm-hmm.
He watched that Facebook Connect and saw, I want you to be able to create in the metaverse. I want you to make a career in the metaverse. The
Yeah.
future is making money in the metaverse. And he held on to those words and he did everything since day one in here to build a business, to bring his business into the metaverse, to put his brand in the metaverse, and to help, whether it was not through community or it was, but he still elevates other creators through his words, through his work, and through the time he spent just
Thanks.
promoting everything that he's done. And like you said, an inspiration when it comes to when you walked into his world and you were like, oh, damn, I need to create me something like this. I
Mm-hmm.
need to build something like this for myself.
Yeah.
Hardy really did change Horizon forever. And some of y'all might disagree with it. Some of y'all might agree with it. But I'm telling you right now, the truth of the matter is from starting in the beta to December when Hardy World joined, and from December to January, all of the time spent going into venues, bringing people into Horizon, all the time spent putting all them brands into his world, all the time he spent promoting, making videos,
Yeah.
pissing people off, making people happy. It didn't matter. People were still watching his content and following him. And that's why he's
Mm-hmm.
been saying, you're still chasing December, and I'm out here in March. You're still chasing December. I'm here out here in April. And when
That's
I
a fact.
first saw that, I'm all about community, and so I'm thinking to myself, this one person is about to change everything in Horizon for the worse because now he wants to monetize everything, and he's been
Hmm.
here for a second. Well, all it took was for me sitting down with this man, having a conversation, and realizing just because he wants to make money and have a business doesn't mean that the community can't exist. Just because he
Yeah,
wants to be able to charge for his knowledge and his time spent and to share what he's been doing in here to elevate others to build their own brands and their own businesses to be able to make money doesn't mean that people can't still do it for free and be able to give it away. And so
that's
we
a fact.
realized that we were saying the same thing, and there's nothing wrong with either side. And the metaphor that I use is that if you want, you can build a house. You can literally go out there and build a house tomorrow, or you can hire a contractor
everybody. Vote for Felso, and I'm out. Kick me out. Peace.
All right.
Waiting.
Felso is out. Make sure you
Still
follow him
waiting.
on Instagram. Follow him on Facebook.
Still
Don't
waiting.
forget to check out Culture and Horizon Worlds. Don't send him Cash App. Send it to DJ Carlos 410 if you want to support. And Felso is gone. All right, y'all. Give me some confetti for Felso. Felso is an amazing supporter of the community, creator. He's an okay rapper. If you want to follow him on YouTube, um, he might have used my name in one of his raps. I did rebut with a diss track. Mine's better than his. That's all I can say. All right. So appreciate y'all giving Felso a chance to, talk about his experience here in the metaverse. I'm so grateful that y'all are here. Like I said, every time I change topics and I look out into the crowd, I see so many amazing people. It's great to see some of y'all. It's amazing to see the new people and people coming back. Just appreciate y'all coming out and showing support. My bot is at the door, so before I bring the bot in, actually I'm gonna bring the bot in because I do want to have this for when we bring up the next person on stage. So, for those of y'all, if you haven't yet, make sure you go to Horizon, or go ahead and open up your menus and like the world if you want. But most importantly, Vidyuu Nights is at 997 subscribers. So we are 3 subscribers away from 1,000. And like I started off the show, it's free to support somebody. It is. It's free to show support. Of course, I got an echo going on. So this is the best part about a live show is that you don't get a chance to fix the bugs that Horizon leaves for us, but we good. So if y'all get a chance, please go ahead and subscribe to the Vidyuu Nights channel. You can watch this back live later, but we're going to go ahead and bring up onto the stage our next guest. Next guest is our guest that I worked out ahead of time. I usually tell people I'm going to have you as a surprise guest because, again, I want y'all to support the show. I want you to be able to support the show and the community, be able to give people a chance to come up here and just share this knowledge and this information with a wider audience of just people who come out to show love. If I were to say Felso is going to be on stage tonight, all of Felso's people are going to come in here, and then they already know about Felso. They already know what he's about, that he's a community leader, that he's supporting the community. He's out here creating art. He's rapping. He's, showing up to all your worlds and showing support on Instagram, creating the Culture and Horizon Worlds, places for people to talk, share conflict, get through it, and in a positive way. But I want everybody to be able to get this information, not just fans of whoever's going to be here. And on that note, hopefully this works because I just picked up the script. Please, y'all, whole lot of confetti. Welcome to the stage, my man. Ask your Q, speak your truth. Burden of proof, y'all. All that confetti. Look at that. Oh my God, it's the whole audience is exploding with confetti right now, yo. The whole audience.
Yo, how'd you do that? How'd you? I was just over there. Okay.
Oh, yeah. You didn't see me pull Felso
you doing
up
it?
on the stage?
You doing it? I like it. I like it. What's happening?
A little bit of theatrics, a lot of bit of Lakes' scripting. So shout out Lakes05 one more time for his
real.
scripts,
I need that in my joint.
Talent.
Please and thank you.
I know, right?
That was dope. I like that.
So
what's happening, everybody?
Instead of the paddles in Ask Your Q, Speak Your Truth, we do have the microphone up here, and this is a perfect opportunity when we get to a point where you want to speak on something, you want to ask Burden a question, or you want to talk about a different topic that one of us might be able to answer. Please feel free. But Burden of Proof, thank you so much for being here, coming to the show, taking a moment to just give these people here a little bit of your time and a little bit of your knowledge. So thank you.
So let me tell you how much I like you, sir. I am literally in South Carolina right now, right? I am literally in South Carolina right now. Of course, I think everybody knows I live in the Bay Area of California by now. But I live in the Bay Area of California. I'm over here visiting my uncle and my aunt. And yeah, I made sure that I got in the house in time to ensure that I made sure this happened for you. So thank you for the invite. And I appreciate it. Thanks for everybody for coming through and showing love to my guy. Before we start, like we sit here a lot with this Oculus on. So y'all want to stretch real quick? Put your hands up, do something. You know what I'm saying? Just get your
he just faked y'all's confetti.
Get your wiggle real.
He got y'all to give him some confetti.
There we go. get everybody loose in here. But nah, I appreciate you for having me, man. I really do.
All right, next stretch exercise. Grab your index trigger and your middle trigger and stretch those fingers. Yes.
Here we go. We here now. We here. We here.
No, that's a good shout
No,
out.
but thanks, bro.
Obviously, make sure y'all are taking breaks. Make sure y'all for your mental health. Get out of headset now and again. I can't stress enough. Your mental health is the most important, as right next to physical health. So please, when you get time, take the headset off, take breaks, but of course, come back and join us here. So great call out to start off the show. I mean, I don't even know where to start with you because I've learned so much about you. But the one thing that I haven't asked you, first of all, before you got into VR, I guess it's not a question. I want to say, first of all, thank you for your service. You're a military man. I guess you're retired now. Talk a little bit about your personal, and then we'll go into how you got into VR.
Sheesh. Personal. Okay, personal. How far are we going back? 17 years old. Okay, so here we go. 17, I graduated high school and I realized that I did not want to live with my mom for the rest of my life. And I wanted to make money as fast as possible. So I had to figure out how would
Mm-hmm.
I be able to do that. I figured that the military was the best avenue of approach. So I started figuring out which branch of military that I wanted to serve in. Never wanted to join the army because, in my personal opinion, it's just too big. The Navy, I wasn't really feeling their uniforms. No disrespect to anybody that's ever been in the Navy. Air Force, I don't think I was smart enough at the time. Marine Corps, my uncle, whose house I'm staying in right now, was in the Marine Corps, and I asked him, what did he think about me joining the Marine Corps? And he was like, with your attitude, you'll be just fine. Now, at 17, I didn't understand
You think so?
what he meant. But as I got older, I was like, that's what he meant. So yeah, so 17, I joined the Marine Corps. 10 years in the Marine Corps, did something ridiculously stupid in 2000, what, 9. Then I got released from the military and started and resided in California, where my son was. So that's where I've been for the last since 2010. And what, back in
Yo, Uncle Cliff
February
be
of this
looking
year,
crazy as shit.
I
God.
found this Oculus, and here we go, and we're here now. Is that I
February
hope that
this year you started.
February this year? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. February this year.
Wow. I had no
Yep.
idea that it was that
Little bit
recent.
of
I
goody.
thought you had been in here doing Ask Your Q, Speak Your Truth since probably December. So that's news to me.
No, actually, I spent December trying to get an Oculus because at the time they were like the hottest thing selling at that particular time, and I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
understand. I'm like, why? Where's the Oculus? Is that like? Because I remember the first one came out, and it didn't really get a good response the way the
Yep.
second one did, and because of what happened with the first one, I was just apprehensive to even get one. But then I saw the pickup of it, and then I was like, well, okay, let me go ahead and grab one of these to see what it's about. So yeah, December they were all sold out. February, I was on hold of getting one, and then once I got one, I've been in here actively ever since.
That's amazing because I bought mine in like November, December time frame, and I was lucky enough to get it like right before the rush. And it was only because I couldn't get one of the Xboxes or PlayStations. I was like, let's just jump in. I'm gonna go ahead and get into VR. So you
Right.
couldn't get one until February. That's interesting.
Yep.
And when you joined, how long? I mean, it was open out of the beta. So did you buy your Oculus and was like Horizon Worlds, or was it something else that you were trying to get into before you
It
got
was
in here?
actually venues was first. Venues was first. And then people started telling me about Horizon World. So then we jumped out of venues, and then Horizon World became this huge, big deal. Everybody was migrating to. So I was like, well, let's go. We're here now. So I mean, I'm not moving.
Yeah, venues. It's a shame. It's a shame that they closed venues and brought it in here and not open up to the world yet, because there were so many people in venues that were meeting up with friends and family in other countries, and that was the biggest concern that I saw. Where people talking about, when this closes, will I still have access to it, or will I, be blocked
Right.
from it? And the Latin American community specifically that I was experiencing, where we developed Los Amigos de Horizon Worlds, there were people that were communicating with, friends, family, in venues specifically, there's a heavy Spanish speaking community in there, and so now that that's closed, every week I see in the groups, when are we going to open up to Mexico? When are we going to open up to Colombia? When are we going to open up to Venezuela? Like all of these countries that people used to hang out in venues. Did you have any people that you were meeting up with abroad in venues, or was it just venues was kind of just where you ended up?
No, I didn't actually have anybody that I was meeting up with in particular over there at venues from any other country and things like that. It was just a meeting spot for honestly everybody who was actively utilizing their Oculus at the time. It was on, nobody spoke about Horizon World for a minute. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
venues was literally that space that everybody was migrating to at first before Horizon World became a thing and everybody started talking about it. And then somehow just this migration started over here. And yeah, I've been intrigued ever since and trying to figure out my niche and how to be a part of the people.
Now, before we get into your world, that obviously it's number one on Wednesday. I mean, I do world tours, and I'm waiting for mine to end to come see you a lot of these nights. But before we get into that, I want to ask you about your experience coming in here. So in February, you went through venues, and then you came into here. What was your experience like when you came in? Was it welcoming? Were you lost? Were people rude? Like, what was it like?
Uh, I'm I'm definitely gonna follow what Felso said earlier. It was definitely a friendlier time when everything was free. um, it was definitely a friendlier time when everything was free. But I mean, once you started the monetizing thing and like that, and people started understanding how to gain revenue, people started keeping things to themselves and things to that nature, trying to capitalize. And I get it. I mean, I had to understand that everybody was in here in regards to trying to create revenue for themselves, and for a different reason, or everybody was in Horizon World for a different reason. I had to understand that yeah, there are some people within Horizon World that do want to utilize Horizon World and get rid of their 9 to 5 and utilize this as a way to generate revenue for the rest of their lives. Me particularly, I'm not that person, so I couldn't identify with that at first. So it was confusing at first why people had to hoard this or people had to be quiet about that and all this other stuff. So, but in understanding how things move now, I've gained a little bit more understanding, and now I understand that everybody has their own different lane in here and things like that. So I mean, it makes sense now, but initially, when like Felso said, when it first kicked off, it was a much friendlier time because nobody knew what was going on, and everybody was just doing things out of the sheer thing of let's get this started for everybody. But as things started to pick up and people started to monetize and things like that, you started to see things change and things like that. But overall, it's still a dope experience.
Now, a lot of the community that was here when you came in February, it was still the same community before things had opened up from the beta, but I believe from December to February, a lot of what was kind of conflicting of the people coming in trying to monetize everything and keeping that information behind that paywall, a lot of that kind of worked out by the February timeframe, and things like the Creators Academy was created for
Right,
people who wanted to learn how to script in a classroom setting. People wanted to collaborate, so Collaboration Station was created. Things like Waffle Hours, where you can learn math, and so many more scripting office hours put on by Horizon. These things that were kind of proving people wrong that you don't have to pay for everything. If you want to
right,
learn something, there's resources out there and people that want to support you. So I'm really glad that you touched on both of those, because even today, if you want to go and learn how to script, or if you just want to ask somebody to create a script for you, you can do both. And you don't have to feel bad about charging, and you don't have to feel bad about sending somebody to go learn it somewhere on their own, because it's out
right.
there for everybody. Now,
100%.
your show, when you created it, were you thinking that you were giving people a place to kind of just voice their problems and get people's feedback? Was it kind of gearing people towards just get up there and talk about your problems, or like what was the direction in the beginning and where did it end up? Because I feel like some people's perception of your show at the first, in the beginning, even my own, was different than where it went, and I'm so glad it is where it is today. So talk on that a little bit.
Initially, I did a lot of when I first got in here in Horizon World, I did a lot of world hopping and things to that nature, and listening to other people's conversations and things like that. There was a club, as everybody knows, there's a lot of clubs within Horizon World and things like that. So within those clubs, I used to go and just to listen to people and listen to people talk and observe certain things. And I started to realize that there wasn't any space within Horizon World at that particular time where people can have a grown up conversation and really have dialogue in regard to what's going on within Horizon World. So I said, if I can understand these shapes, how to make these things work, right? I think I can create a space to where everybody can come, be comfortable within their avatars and discuss certain things without any backlash or things to that nature. So I mean, in the
And
beginning, so it's called Ask the Q, Speak Your Truth, and
mm-hmm.
basically that's what it is. It's just a setting that where everybody can come to and have an adult conversation and dialogue about what's going on within the metaverse and Horizon World. Some of the who's who of Horizon World has been there already. Miss Rhonda X right there, Joy over
Oh,
there. You know what I'm
hiding in the
saying? So I
corner.
mean, yeah, so I mean, a lot of the who's who within the metaverse have been there. Raheem Devon has been there. Who, for those who don't
Yeah,
know who that is, that's like he's a two-time Grammy Award nominated singer.
that's the love
So I
Canadian.
mean, those are the things that have been happening in that space that I'm grateful for personally, and I appreciate. So, so far so good. Um, every Wednesday has been pretty consistent in regards to the people and people showing support and things like that. So I've been more than appreciative, and we've gained enough, I guess, notoriety and success to where now we're thinking about changing the whole setup of what it looks like now from the inside out. So I'm looking
Oh,
forward to
okay.
that as well. Yeah.
Is anybody helping you with that redesign, or is this a
Yes,
Burden
they are.
exclusive?
It's definitely a community build. Tone, if you Tone is helping.
Yeah.
Dig. It's a laundry list of MF's son is definitely another gentleman that's been assisting and things like that. But it's definitely been a lot of people within the community that see a lot of promise within the show that have been, what I'm saying, bringing their talents to the build and have been willing to help. So I've been more than appreciative because I think everybody knowing here. I mean, I'm not the building type. I'm more of a visionary and things like that. I mean, I could put together a couple of things with snap tools and things like that. But I mean, overall, some of the things that they're doing within this space is phenomenal. And I don't think my brain worked like that just yet. So I leave that to the creators and things like that. I'm more of a visionary.
That's what's up. And congrats to all your success because like just from the first time that I've been in your world, like I was really drawn to it, and you and I had some chatting on Instagram about being on the show. And that's why I said, what was your intent of the beginning where this world started to where it went now, and was it kind of
Right.
aligned? Because when we were discussing the topic was about monetization, about people using assets in worlds and not telling people who are spending money on these worlds, I'm making your world out of assets. I'm not putting 100% of what I'm doing into it. This is me kind of speed running through the process to be able to get that money and move on to the next project. And at the time, I didn't want to talk on that because there's really no positivity in that. There's no message other than just communicate. You're going to be using other people's assets in those worlds, and that's really the only message for that. But since then, literally the very next show and beyond, till even your most recent, the message has been nonstop, just positivity, sharing with the community things that can help them, being able to give people a chance to just speak on some things that have just been on their mind, and just be able to clear it out. And I had the opportunity to do that with Hardy when he was there. What did
Yes,
you think of
yes.
that night? Because there's no way anybody saw that coming. Even I didn't, and I just felt like
Nah,
I had to speak my truth.
I think honestly, there's a lot of special moments that have already happened within that space that I'm grateful for. that a lot of people, even in this audience, have been a part of. When that happened in particular, I don't think Hardy even expected that to happen. His reaction was kind of funny to me as well.
It was honest.
But
It was a
yo,
very real
definitely,
reaction.
definitely, I don't think he expected it either. When that happened, I just think it allowed everybody else to realize, okay, you can let your guard down in here, and nobody look at you in a certain way or a certain manner, and nobody's going to judge you, or nobody's going to, criticize you for having these feelings or being vulnerable and things like that. Because I mean, we have to be on guard all day, every day in our real life. You know what I'm saying? So to come in this space and have to do the same thing, I mean, who wants to do that? So I mean, again, I just wanted to create a situation where like you can literally let your guard down and like just relax and just share your thoughts and things like that without being criticized or judged for having feelings, because it's natural.
Yeah, when I joined the night you had Hardy on, and I don't want to make this whole show about Hardy. We've already shouted him out 3 times, but the reality is it's a part of my history in Horizon, and Hardy is a big part of that story. And when I joined Ask Your Q, Speak Your Truth that night, my intention was to just hear what he had to say. And I had already talked to him in the past. We'd already, squashed everything. We were good. We had our own mutual respect, understanding, and moving forward. But when I went there, I just wanted to hear him out. I wanted to hear what he had to say. And as he was talking, there was people asking questions just about like his business in the metaverse, and that community aspect wasn't part of what his conversation was saying. And I know that even though he may not say it out loud, he really does try to bring the community up with him. Because there's no way you can sit at the top by yourself and enjoy all of your success. You got to bring people with you, and it's not bringing
Right.
just people because they're in the room. It's about bringing people up who put the effort and the work in too. And that was the part of his message that he was trying to share with me before I had a chance to sit down with him. And so when I got up on the stage, I was like, I have more of a comment than a question, and I really just wanted to get it out there to him in front of everybody that there's a way that you can resolve conflict in here, just like in the real world, and all it takes is just having a conversation with somebody and really getting to know
Right.
somebody before you can pass judgment. And I
100%.
apologized, because as a man, as a person, as an individual to another individual, I can at least own my fault of passing judgment before having a chance to even hear him out. So, not giving him a fair shake at just telling me who he is and me telling him who I am, we immediately just had conflict because we weren't saying the same thing. And I mean, I think it was more important to just own it, apologize, and then just share with everybody that no matter how hard it gets in here, no matter how deep the conflict runs, all it takes is just to walk up and just say, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" and just get it all out there, and then y'all can move forward. Or y'all can move separate. Y'all can walk away. There's nothing wrong with
Right.
just disagreeing and doing it respectfully.
Right. You can definitely agree to disagree. Definitely.
Yeah, because I imagine somebody in here likes putting pineapple on pizza or likes to dip their Oreos in water or something. I don't know. Weird things.
Or like
I mean,
blue
I can
cheese
respect
instead
it.
of ranch.
Yeah, that's not that. No, no blue cheese. So that's exactly the point. You don't
We don't
have
like
to
blue
like super
cheese.
stream. You can go and subscribe to Vidyuu Nights. Like there's options out there for everybody. And on that note, for
Right.
everybody in the room, if you could please subscribe to Vidyuu Nights. That's where we're streaming along with Super's stream. We're 3 away from 1,000. So if there's anybody out there that just can flip their headset up for a second, go to youtube.com/Vidyuu Nights and just drop a subscribe on there. 1,000 would mean the world to not only Lakes 05 for all that time and effort that he's
Hey,
put into
Vidyuu, who you
content for
talking
this
to?
community, but also Vidyuu Nights is that entertainment side where we get to do things like streaming, so y'all can enjoy this later, watch it back. If you're in build mode, you can watch it now. If you go watch the new video he dropped, Netflix and build, you can actually watch TV like your browser in build mode using the Oculus Link. So stuff like that he's putting out there so y'all can continue to learn and
Right.
grow and be able to use this stuff in your time. So please show that support, show that love. Go ahead and subscribe to the Vidyuu Nights channel.
Definitely.
So What are you doing outside of burdens, or outside of Ask Your Q, Speak Your Truth? Because that one day a week, y'all, you were popping. So I imagine that with that traction, you could pretty much do anything and people would support you. Is there something else that you want to do, or is this kind of like this is your thing and you want to continue to grow it?
Well, me personally, I think quality over quantity. Personally speaking, in regards to doing things within this metaverse, I think I wanted to just learn how to be a better host in regards to what I'm doing on the show. Learn how to gauge my audience, learn how to keep the guests comfortable and things like that. So I'm still learning, honestly, in regards to how the things operate within Ask the Q, Speak Your Truth. Like I said before, we have a whole new setting that's about to be built. So I'm looking forward to that. Um, but no, honestly, there's one more thing I have in store in regards to what Horizon World and things like that. I would love to create. I'm in the process of creating this lounge for the military vets within the space and things
Oh,
like that. So that's the next thing that I'm looking forward to trying to complete. Cam Bam has the helm on that. So he's doing his thing and behind the scenes and things like that. But I would really love to have this this military lounge created so these military vets can have a space where they can, you know what I'm saying, feel comfortable and have dialogue as well and feel like they're a part of the Horizon experience as well. So that's my last trick up my sleeve. And once I get those two things aligned, I think those two things will keep me more than busy
that's amazing.
within this space.
Being
Yeah.
able to give back to vets, that's such a huge thing. I know that I haven't seen but maybe one or two worlds that they're dedicated to vets. So that would be amazing. Please, I would love to share that in the world tours. I love to have communities out there. And just a reminder for y'all, we are live taping, so all y'all's conversations is on live stream. So either party up or please mute or move to the back. Appreciate y'all. But I would love to see more about worlds for vets because people have come in here and they've asked me, where do I go? Because I really want to find a support group for PTSD. And, I've sent them to the Friends of Bill W. There was one that uh, Petit, he had one. And
Mm.
there really weren't too many other worlds that were out there for people to get support and help, especially for veterans. And so to hear that, I mean, that would be amazing. So please keep me in the loop on that.
Oh, definitely, definitely. It's definitely coming. I'm looking forward to it. That's the one. That's the last one I have up my sleeve, and I'm definitely excited about. I can't wait for everybody to see it.
So as far as Burden, your name, I know I asked you before, but I do want to share with this audience. Where did your name come from? Because the moment I seen it, I was just like burden of proof. I love it. Like that's the hardest thing in the real world is that burden of proof. Because whether it's in the legal system, whether it's in just your relationships with people, if somebody's coming for you and it's just their word against yours, I mean, to me, unless you got something, if you got them receipts, if you got a way that you're going to tell me this is how somebody is other than my own perception, there's that burden of proof that's underlying there. Tell me about your name and where you came up with that.
Oh, well, you hit it on the head. So in the military, when I was while in the Marine Corps, I was actually a 4421, and what a 4421 is a legal chief, legal service, more or less a glorified paralegal. So at the
Oh,
time of being in the military, I needed a username and a password for my Yahoo account, and because I was already engaged in the legal field, I was like, and my last name is actually Burden. So I was
oh,
like,
okay.
well, let's just put it together, Burdenofproof, and it literally stuck. So when I created this Horizon account, it gave me this tag. I like, well, I don't have to change anything, so we're good.
Oh,
So I
wow.
mean, it just I literally had it. I've had this name honestly, wow, for almost about I want to say almost 10 years. Honestly, if I really think about it, I've actually had the name itself for almost 10 years. It would just surprise me when this was the name instead of my real government name that came up as the my user tag. So yeah, once I saw it up there, I was like, oh well, this was fate. This was destined to happen. So here we go. Burden of proof it is, and it just stuck.
So was it because Metacourt was already popping that you decided you was going to get away from the legal system and start speaking about it on stage?
Not at all. Not at all. Herbert and that MetaCourt thing, man, that man is amazing. No, it had nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that at all. But honestly, I love going into MetaCourt and that build and watching those. It stays popping in there. Everywhere, what 20 to
Yeah.
28 people stay in there consistently. So, but no, it had nothing to do with that. Once I got out the military, I was done with the legal field. So yeah.
So, as a paralegal, have you thought about it once? I mean, I know you say you got out the military and you were done with it. What did you end up doing as a career, if you don't mind sharing? Because I know, like, people go to college for like 10 years and they, get this degree. They got like the
Yes.
specialty and
Yep.
understudy and their second major, and then
Yep.
they, get into a completely opposite field. But with the military, don't they do job training and things like that along the way, and kind of give you
Definitely
some
do.
direction for when you get out?
They definitely do. Well, once I got out the military, I personally knew that I didn't want to deal with anything in the legal field, only because uh, it's just too broad of a field. If I was going to engage in the legal field, I would have stayed. I would have done corporate law, dealing with like
Mm.
let's say like big corporations because their laws really don't change that much. If I things like that. So I created it in his honor, and yeah, so it's doing pretty well. 5 years and running.
That's amazing. No, I'm definitely sorry
Appreciate
to
it.
hear about your nephew. And one of the things that people always share in here is that this is more than a game, like Felso was talking about. This is real life, and it's amplified. Like everything that you're doing in here, it's amazing to hear that you're turning that space into a place where people can actually like work out problems. They can talk to people and they can get their truth out there. Have you thought about doing something for kids? Like, I know we had Super on here who's working with Smile Honey Child and doing the script kids. And Smile Honey Child, of course, has been working with kids in
Right.
headsets for as long as I know. Have you thought about working with kids in the metaverse or doing anything for a younger audience?
Personally, I haven't, but I mean, between Super and Smile Honey Child, if they ever have the idea in regards to trying to collaborate with something of that nature, I mean, I'm more than willing to help. Any type of thing that I, in regard to servicing kids and things like that, because I mean, it's amazing the parallels that you can create in a kid's life if you give them positivity or they give them an option of knowing that they can achieve or try to strive for something different. You know what I'm saying? So that's the give and take for me. That's the pinnacle for me, especially in regard to what I do with these kids. To see them see the light bulb go off in their heads and things like that, and see that okay, the information that I gave that kid created a parallel that changed his whole life. For me personally, that's the pinnacle. So I mean, if Smile Honey Child and Super ever have the bright idea to try to create something on a broader scale in regards to what I'm doing, I'm down. Just say the word, and I think they already know. So I would be more than willing to help.
There you go, Super. Make sure you blow up his chat right now. get Burden on the team, start helping younger creators. Let's get it.
I'll
And
be
I
more
want to
than
I want
willing
to
to
talk
help
about
that
that
out.
too, because this has been a topic many times in here about younger creators and younger players. Now, Horizon may say they are targeting 18 plus, and they have
Right.
created the mature worlds policy, and now you have the ability to set your world's rating to everyone or 18 plus. But it's not so much about keeping kids out. It's just about giving people the understanding of what they're going to see in that world. When it comes to the younger audience, and I know Super's about to speak on his super kids, script kids. Oh, you should have called them super kids. That's a missed opportunity. But I
Yeah,
want
that
to
would
ask
have been
you.
dope.
He should have been. He got time to change it. He ain't spent no money on it yet. But in all seriousness, though, um, there's kids that are in here changing Horizon, and y'all don't even know it. I've literally had people come to me and say, "Can you feature our nephew's world? Can you feature, this person's world? They just started creating. Can you add my world to tours because it has a taco spot with your name on it? Can you help me out because I'm looking for, just something to do?" And I've literally had people in tours, and I'm not going to say their names because I hate to have anybody think anything negative because they're not 18. But I have people in tours that just show up and they'll help me point out doors. They'll be like, I'll tell them we're heading over to the intro world, and they'll literally point it out and like, come over here and click on it. Just something simple as that to give people a chance to feel like they're a part of something because they are helping and they're impactful. And the crazy thing is, starting out by just saying hello, accepting a friend request, now their world is in tours. And that's what it's about. It's about giving people an opportunity to have their world being seen. And these younger creators that shout out Jay's Trampoline Park. I mean, that was like one of the most amazing moments for me was to be able to take an entire group of people, fill that world up to 32, take a bunch of pictures, get people to like it, post it to the world page. And that way, when he came back to see his world, he was just blown away. And he came and thanked me. And, all I did was just take people to his world. Everybody was having a blast. That's all I want is for people to experience these worlds and for these kids to feel supported, to feel that there's some positivity behind them, and that they can help create Horizon along with the rest of us. So, super kids, super
Yeah. So yeah,
welcome.
yeah. I mean, to touch base on what you were saying, man, like there are amazing kid creators in here. Like there's people like there's a family that came here, acquire the create. Oh, where am I? Oh,
We're
all
gonna
right,
share the
all right.
stage. We talking
Okay,
kids. We
okay,
talking
all right.
positivity.
Right? I did the same thing
Yeah,
you
what's
did.
up,
Right.
bro?
I did the same
Yeah.
thing. What's happening?
I was like, I just teleported. I didn't even pull up my menu. All right.
Right, right.
Horizon glitch.
Yeah,
Put it
no,
in user voice.
but yeah, there are some amazing kid creators in here, and I didn't really realize that until started collaborating with Smile Honey Child, and then getting to know these kids and everything. A lot of these kids are afraid to speak up because they're
Yep.
afraid they're going to get pulled out to remove or reported, and their account gets banned, and the worlds that they're creating is now lost. So, for everyone that's here, just be mindful that not every kid is here to disrupt. More kids are actually coming in here to want to create and build. And if somebody comes up to you, just if you got time, check out their world because there's a family in here called Choir the Creator with her kids that she comes in here to build. Kingdom Hearts is one of an amazing scripter. If you guys don't know who Kingdom Hearts is, he's a really young kid, and he's actually the one that scripted Andrew Money 10's Blackjack World all by himself.
Whoa.
Wow.
So
Whoa.
there's some amazing kids in here, and then
Yeah,
Tanjiro, that's
that's a
part
good
of the Kid
gift.
Scripts class. Bella, which I'm called Peyton. They're all pretty dope. So it's like, yeah, yeah, Burden too, yeah. So like, we're collabing with Smile and Gamer too. Gamer's dope too. Yeah, we're collabing with Smile Honey Child, the primitive team with like Dunder, Golden Hand, Golden Rays, and all that. So like when we expand, we would love to have you or talk to you about possibly expanding that program. But I know Smile Honey Child has a plan in the motion, so I'm gonna leave that up to her and let her go to work. But yeah, we would love to collab someday.
Oh man, definitely
That's
say the word.
incredible.
Yeah.
Got you.
I brought you up here
Hmm.
not just for the discussion about the young scripters and builders, but our topic for tonight, which we'll get into shortly about sneak recording, but we're not there yet. I want
You
to stick
tricked me,
with the
Oculus.
discussion about. Yeah, yeah, absolutely
You
did.
tricked me because
So
I
I want
hate
to continue to talk
interviews.
about.
I was not planning on coming up here tonight.
That's the name of the game. We have surprise guests. Even the guests are surprised. So, but bringing it back to to the kids, there have been kids since the beta, and one of them was actually kicked out of Horizon during the beta, and it was because of the community that stood up and said, not only does that person belong in here, regardless of their age, but they are literally changing Horizon for the better through their imagination, through their abilities. The scripting abilities is beyond my even understanding, and just the worlds that they were putting in here. I haven't seen them in a while. They haven't published anything recently, but they were working on so many scripts with people like, the games that you all have played dozens of times, Action Island and Retro Zombies, working with Sandwich, working with Elastic Plastic, working with all of these talented scripters, and he's under 18, and he's
Mm,
actually learning how to continue his skills in other software programs, because when he gets to the age where he doesn't have to worry about being removed from the platform, he's going to pretty much own this place when it comes
Right,
to
yeah.
right,
building and scripting and
right.
creating. And
100%.
that's the part that is really difficult, because yeah, there's definitely some underage kids that'll come in here, they'll scream, they'll make a scene, they'll disrupt, but there's also underage creators that are making things that even you and I probably could never do, and they're on that level that we're just not there yet. So anytime that you're in a world, even if they sound underage, as long as they're not being disruptive, welcome them to the conversation. Find out a little bit more about what they're working on, and you might actually inspire them to be able to create, and they'll be able to create something that maybe one day Meta starts supporting them. Who
Mhm.
knows?
Facts.
So
Facts.
I'm really grateful that Smile Honey Child is doing what she's doing, that you're helping out with the script kids, the primitive team that you just mentioned. Shout out to them. There's so many things going on in Horizon that are supporting other creators. That's just one group of people. The kids that are under 18 that are helping build this platform with each and every one of
Mhm.
us.
And then also,
So
too, big shout out to the Creator Academy because if it wasn't for Janimator and his time that he volunteered to
yes.
mentor these kids, there would be no kid scripts at all. So, yeah,
Mm.
big shout out to him and his team. And I know he's trying to find a way where he can do both, where he can mentor these kids and then find a way to also pay the mentors at the same time. So we're right now working on a plan for that. But big shout out to the Creator Academy as well.
100%.
Come on back, Thiessen.
Hmm.
Come on back.
Yeah,
Make
you
sure
got
you
a
unmute.
question there?
Come on up. Thiessen actually has
Okay.
a world in tours as well. Shout that out if you could, and then tell us what you have.
Okay. The world he's relating to, it's called the Midnight Pot. It's a coffee shop type world. Um. So if you have the time to volunteer going out to it and just checking it out, that'd be great. And also, I wanted to ask, um, how do you get into the kids academy type thing? I was just wondering.
Oh, there you go.
Oh
How
yeah.
do we get
All
there?
right. Yeah, so we'll be launching our second program next month. Right now, we're working out the details as far as funding and seeing if we can pay our volunteer scripters and mentors. But we will be having details hopefully in the next couple weeks. Add me as a friend, and then if anything, message me on the Oculus message, and then I'll send you details as far as coming in. But yeah, I love to have you, man.
So
All right.
Thiessen is a great part of World Tours. Shows up almost every Wednesday. Great help. Positive person. Always willing to volunteer. Helps getting people organized through doors. Sticks around after we move into the first tour. I mean, thank you so much for your commitment and your time. So please, continue to do that. Keep building. And I love supporting everybody. But if you keep creating worlds, I love to keep promoting those in World Tours. So thank you for your question, and thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you. Also, I had one more thing. This is a follow up
Yeah,
from, I
please.
believe it was 2 weeks ago. Uh, I mentioned about Tanzer's homeless hub thing. I wanted to tell
Yes.
you that I submitted the photo and got nothing back. So I just wanted to let you know. So
Oh, cool. I'll reach out to Tanzer. I'll let him know. Awesome.
all right. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
So Tanzer's Homeless Hub, if you haven't checked it out, for those of us without apartments and we're still on the floating island, we got a cardboard box, or some people are in a trash can or in the
Man, they
sewers.
still doing
We're
y'all
doing
dirty
what we
like that?
can. It's hard out here.
Man.
So for those of y'all with apartments, invite us sometime. We would love to see what it's like in the AC. It's hot out here. But in all seriousness, shout out to Tanzer, because as soon as you spawn in, coming out of the subway, there are links and resources to be able to help actual homelessness in the real world. So you can support and help with the homeless epidemic by checking out some of those links, getting educated on it, and even donate. So shout out to him for taking advantage of the opportunity, not only as a fun way to support us who are homeless, but in the real world to be able to support people who are without homes. So shout out to him.
Facts. 100%.
Burden,
Sir,
super. This
Yep.
this is the topic that I've been dying to ask specifically Super about, but I wanted to ask you about in case Super didn't show up because he's doing lunges or whatever he's doing.
I'm
Burden,
actually working out.
sir.
your show is now streaming on Supers, on MetaMasters, on Hardy. Depends on who
Thank
shows
you,
up.
sir. Appreciate you,
Shout out
sir.
to
Yes,
Super
sir.
Yes,
for
Yes,
yes.
sir.
always showing love and support. But
Yep.
when you first started your show, there were people who were posting clips about it, and I don't know if you were aware of it, but like at the time when you started your show, were you worried about people taking things out of context or using it to kind of, spiral drama off of something you created?
Me personally, no. I
Good.
wasn't worried about any type of negative backlash or anything like that because I just knew what we were doing within the space. Um, I don't think you could edit anything in there to where you can get a negative what I'm saying, aspect of it and twist it to where you set somebody up, if you will. So no, I honestly didn't ever worry about that. Honestly, everybody that has ever come through to ask about recording and things like that, I think I've been more than open with them, like, yo, go right ahead. Because I mean, if I'm creating a situation that can build your portfolio in regards to what you're doing for this whole metaverse, I mean, go at it. Like again, I didn't come in this situation on some, oh, I need a job from Meta or I want to monetize or anything. I literally came in here and created that space because I felt we needed it as a whole. No more, no less. And it's done its own thing genuinely. So everything that's happening in regards to the show now is just icing on the cake, if you will. Super is in there with his video, his bot. Um, what Terica comes in there and she records as well. Shout out to Terica. DB brings her bot in there as well, his bot in there as well. I don't ever have a problem with it. I think the more the merrier. I mean, Last Girl on Earth comes through and she
Yep.
does her thing sometimes. I don't ever feel away or anything like that. I think it's all warranted. And I think if we all can help each other create our own success, why not? I'm not holding nothing over there. I mean, come through. If you want to build your portfolio and learn how to edit or learn how to live stream and things like that, go right ahead. But I'm gonna say this, and I know Super would say it as well, but anybody could come in and record live. I think personally the magic is in the editing and trying to grab the meat and potatoes of what's being spoken within that conversation to make people come back. Personally speaking, Terica is dope with that. She can find them.
Mhm.
She ask a question, and then I mean the question she's asking is a setup. She knows what she's doing, and I mean she gets dope angles and things like that. And I mean, like, I'm definitely appreciative of her. I learned a lot from what she does in regards to angling, things like that when I record. So I mean, I think it's a iron sharp iron type of thing,
Yep.
if you will. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I mean, but again, the magic to me personally is in the editing part. But to answer your question, no, I've never felt threatened or I've never felt the way, anything like that, because I never thought that what we were doing within that space could be seen as a negative. So no, I never worried about that.
That is like the best answer you could have ever given to that question, because the whole point of what you're doing is you're literally giving people a space to just speak out whatever it is they got on their mind. People discuss it, find a way to come to terms with it,
Yep.
address it, deal with it or accept it and move on. And regardless of the context is what people are saying, how people are feeling. So I love it. I want to ask Robo to unmute and please share comment or question, and then we're gonna get into the sneak recording.
Definitely.
So I've got some good news for you. Vidyuu Nights has
Oh,
officially surpassed 1,000 subscribers.
Okay, let's go.
yo,
Let's go.
confetti
There
for
it
Vidyuu
All
is.
Nights,
right,
for
all
There
Lakes
it
of
right.
is.
Five,
And there it
for
is.
all of
Let's
Come
go.
y'all.
Let's
on.
go.
Dope, dope, dope,
1,000
dope.
subscribers. Oh my god.
Let's go.
Like
Just like
that
that.
Okay.
that's Robo delivering the amazing news. Thank you so much. What else do you have? Anything?
That's love. I love
I guess I can ask. Should I overtake Happy Dog?
that.
No.
Okay, fair.
If you ever get that good, that's your goal. I would love for everybody to get to a happy dog level of scripting. I would love for people to just continue learning and not put a name on where they want to be. See, when I look to people in the community and I say, "What do you want to get out of this? What do you want to learn? What do you want to do?" And some people say, "I want to be like Lakes and I want to create assets," or "I want to be like Oculos and I want to, be a community leader." And I tell them, "Don't focus on a person. You don't need to be the best somebody else. The only person in the world that is able to do you is you. So go out there and
That's
show
it.
everybody what you got. Show them your talent. Show
100%.
them what you're about. Because no matter what, you can try to be what somebody else's level is. That can be a goal to you, but make it about yourself. I want to learn how to script and teach others. I want to learn how to connect communities and be able to bring people together. But don't say I want to be, the next Burden, the next Super, because there's already a Super and there's already a Burden. We need the next you, whoever you are.
Mhm.
That's who belongs in this community, the next you. So do that. So the only Super in the metaverse with
The
three
only
R's,
super
and we
in the
had the only
metaverse.
Felso in the metaverse with four O's, and Burden spells properly. So we'll let him hang out with us since my Oculos as well. But Super, since the day we met, I've been joking about the I don't consent because everybody knew you were recording. You've always been
Mhm.
upfront about it, and your content
Right.
is always it's funny, it's fresh, it's real. Um, Talk a little bit about your struggle creating content, recording in the metaverse, and have you met anybody that's been really conflicted or upset about you capturing content in here?
Come over here,
Well, in the
super.
be
Come
oh
here.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
In the
switch
Oh
real
yeah,
quick.
beginning,
slide
There
that
you
on
go.
was
down.
in the beginning that was like one of my main concerns because I honestly didn't want to be known. When I first came in here, the intention was never to create content. I literally just came in here, started having fun. My first world that I went to was the mansion, and I kicked it with Squiggly Noodle. That was my day one,
Hey,
and it was actually his idea to create content on TikTok. And then so for the people that don't know, like I do videography, so I was like, okay, well, I could probably cut some clips together and make some content, but the main thing was I didn't want to be known as that person recording negative content. And so I was always trying to be mindful of what people would say like within their conversations and not post it. And if I did record it, let them know like, hey, I recorded this content. I'm not going to post it, but I just want to let you know I got it and I'm going to delete it. So just being very respectful. But because I was completely transparent from the jump, I never really had any really issues with anybody saying they didn't like my content. And if they did have an issue with my content, they would message me on Instagram and they would say, hey, that post that you have up, I don't want that being out there. Can you please delete it? And I would just delete it immediately. So I was always
wow.
very transparent with people. Yeah.
So when you did have people who didn't want their I guess their avatar or that circumstance on your channel, you just deleted it? Like you didn't
I
even,
just deleted it.
like
Yeah.
wow. That's
Mm-hmm.
real like solid of you because a lot of people are really about that content. Like, no, it's
Mm-hmm.
funny.
Right.
No, let's leave it up and let's see how it does. Or, no, nobody's taking it that way. Like, I've seen
Mm-hmm.
people kind of gaslight it, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that that's the wrong approach. And I love that you've already just spoken out about it. If somebody comes to you
Yeah.
and says, "Look, I was in that video. I don't want to be in it. Can you please just remove it?" Like,
Mm-hmm.
be more about people than a click. If you're worried
Yeah.
about clicks, you're going to turn people off from your content if you're consistently upsetting people. If you're using their presence in the metaverse for your notoriety and your traction,
Right.
you're
Your
not going to go
personal
viral
gain.
off of being shady with it. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to say what actually is going to go viral in here because I've seen some videos that some of them hit 1 million views, some of them hit 10. But as far as you, are you chasing the numbers? Are you just creating good content? Like, what are you doing with your brand right now? Where are you trying to take it?
Well, the plan right now is social media. Social media is to get monetized Facebook gaming, YouTube, and Instagram and TikTok. Because my goal isn't to try to get revenue or money from any of the creators within Horizon World. My goal is to get myself paid through monetization and social media through these big companies who could afford it. So the funny thing is, to my most viewed video on TikTok hit like 300,000 views, and that was actually one of the videos that somebody had messaged me saying they wanted to take it down. So I immediately took it down. So
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
so yeah, just yeah, for everyone out here, I just want to say, like, it's cool to chase the content, cool to chase the numbers, but then again, you're gonna be interacting with the people that's around you, and you don't want to build a reputation for yourself where you're that guy where people don't want to hang out with. So it's like, be mindful, be respectful, and just show love, not negativity. Always just try to show love. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to put my 2 cents in.
So I want to talk about recently. We have um, podcasts. We have journalists. We have people that are taking this content, and they're begging for clicks because of drama. What do you
Mm.
think about that in the metaverse? Because it's part of the real world. I mean, not to put anything down on any journalism and magazines and websites that are working off of clickbait and working off of drama, but it's in the real
Mm.
world and people consume it. I mean, there's no doubt about it. When you see a headline, when you get an alert, and somebody is no longer dating somebody, or somebody baby mama got different daddy or something, like people just swarm to it because they really want to hear more about it. But in
Yeah.
here, what do you think about that drama and that negativity, like for clicks? Because I've been following some of those posts, and they're not doing that great. They're not getting
Mm.
thousands and not even thousands of views. But I mean, do you think that that's just going to continue to grow, or do you think we can keep it positive enough to
Un-
just not consume that content and keep it positive?
Unfortunately, I do believe it's going to continue to grow. I think there are going to be some people that come in here that are going to create that content. Like, for example, like in the real world, people have the Shade Room and TMZ and all that. That's going to continue to grow in here too, as well, because people like hearing the tea. So that's just, uncontrollable. But what I can say is you can control what you do and how you react to things. And if there is a conversation that you want private, get into a party with somebody, and just keep that private. So you can't really control what other people are going to do, but you can control what you do. So
Right.
I would just say that. But yeah, it's going to happen regardless of how we feel about it. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, Burden, I want to ask you a question because on your show, there's been times where people have kind of gotten anxious and wanted to turn the conversation to drama, being negative, or just be accusatory. You've actually handled that in your own world by just supporting that creator even more publicly without, you can or can't get into names,
I
doesn't matter
sure
to me
will.
because we all
Unemployed
know.
alcoholic. I sure will. I sure will. I don't mind. I don't mind at all.
Well, I
He's a
wasn't going to
phenomenal
talk
human
about
being.
that one yet.
Oh,
That
okay.
one is that he is by far a genuine person. But I wanted to kind of speak leading up to that because the show where you had Lakes was there, and I wanted to show up and support him, and he was talking about Vidyuu verification before it even launched, and
Mm,
people in the room immediately were turned off at the fact that he was charging for this verification. So without context, without understanding the program, the benefits, what he's giving you on top of putting his name on it, people were starting to get upset. Why are you charging me money to you tell me I'm a builder? How do I get validated by you when I know what I can do? I know what my skills are. And so I got up on stage and I said, I don't think y'all understand. Like, he is literally putting his name out there saying, you are a good builder and scripter. So somebody comes up and says, I want to hire you, but what are your credentials? Show me what you're working with. And you can say, Vidyuu, who created every tutorial for Meta, every tutorial on the channel, over 400 plus videos, literally puts his stamp of approval on my work. That is a massive, like, privilege that
Cosign,
all you got to do
definitely.
is take the test. And people were getting angry about it. And the conversation immediately shifted, and you were supportive of Lakes. So Lakes and others that have been in there up to unemployed alcoholic. Tell me about your feelings when you see the crowd turning and what you've done, and we can talk right into that show after we kind of talk in general.
Oh, definitely. I you try to fill out the crowd. As a host, it's your job to keep the guests protected. I feel it's my job to make sure that they feel safe and they feel comfortable giving this information and things like that. And like I said before, given the nature of the actual space, is no judgment. So you already know that coming into the situation. Um, in regards to lakes and things like that, I mean, like you said, I felt, yeah, I just think it's just the differences of opinion, and difference of views on how they view things and like that, like you said. I mean, this man has put in a lot of work into this establishment and things like that to allow it to be user friendly for everybody. So why wouldn't he be one of those people, you know what I'm saying, that is seen as somebody that would be able to verify people in regards to Bill? He's one of the dopest guys in here that's doing it. I mean, why wouldn't he be?
Shout out
Why wouldn't
Lakes.
he be that? So once people understand that, then you get it, and it's our job as hosts sometimes to interject. Sometimes like hold on. So that's why I do a lot of the research that I do. I don't just have people just come to the show and say, "Hey, come on." I literally sit there and I do a lot of research and things like that so I can have questions. And so I know things about that particular person so they do feel comfortable and things like that. Legs was awesome the whole time he was there, and I loved everything that he talked about. But definitely, once you see a shift in the crowd, I think it's our job as hosts, what I'm saying, to streamline it and keep the vibe going, so it's comfortable for everybody.
Yeah, and the Lakes one obviously wasn't a bad experience. There wasn't anything like aggressively negative. It was just the shift in the conversation. So I appreciate you touching on that because it is important. If
Definitely.
you don't recognize that your audience is shifting, that people are starting to just really come for your guest, and it's because of either a misunderstanding or it's just they don't agree. There's nothing wrong
Right.
with that. You can disagree.
Right.
You can not be, on the same page as the person that's speaking, but at the same time, it's not your job to go and disrupt the experience for everybody else unless you're going to ask
100%
a question that's going to be, helping
beneficial.
you better
Right.
understand that person. Right. So I love that you've done that in your show. I've seen you do it publicly. And when you posted videos after from your show with Unemployed Alcoholic, all your content was supportive. You were standing up
Yes.
for the fact that there's someone who's misunderstood. And I don't want to one relate it to me and Hardy because I've already shouted him out like 4 times now. But when there was a misunderstanding with me and Hardy, everybody supported that conflict being resolved in that moment where you
Right.
understood both sides now and you could move forward together. With unemployed alcoholic, just because there's not one person who had a misunderstanding and you've got parts of a community that are making their own assumptions just because they haven't actually sat down and talked with them, that's
Right.
the part where the community really needs to better understand. The more we go around assuming things about people, the worse we're making this community for others. Because if
Facts.
Burden came up here and said, I don't like Super AF, he's been in every show. He over here running his mouth while I'm trying to talk. He got his arms crossed and he's staring at me for the last hour, and I don't like his face. And everybody in the crowd's like, Super AF is creepy. I don't like him. Let's not mess with him. Yo, block
Right.
him. And then that just continues to go. Like every world you go to, hey, if Super AF in your world, I just want to be, looking out. Make sure you block him. Oh, make sure you don't let him in your world. But what is it based on? It's based on
Right.
one person's opinion and a misunderstanding of
Yes.
somebody, and that should not hold enough weight in this metaverse. There's too much in here at stake for y'all to be just making assumptions about people. Because, like we talked
Facts.
about earlier, you could meet somebody that could literally change everything in here for you, or be a
Mm-hmm.
part of something that changes it for everybody else. And all you're doing is just misunderstanding somebody. And I
100%.
just respect so much what you did for unemployed alcoholic, for all of your guests. But the misunderstanding being things that people created in their own heads. It's not even anything that's actually tangible. When you hold somebody to their world, let's say my world gets 10,000 visits every single week, just as a general number. Do you hold it to me, of all 10,000 people that come through here, that now they represent me as a person because they're in here
Right.
being toxic or negative?
Right. That's
Absolutely not.
unrealistic.
There's no
Right.
way. And that's what
Right.
people are doing with people like
Mm-hmm.
Unemployed Alcoholic, with Amazing World, that has created an entire community. Just because you don't like the person because he's not in every instance of every one of his worlds every single day, and there's toxicity going on, that's not on him. That's on you to report to Horizon. When you load into the world, what does it say? Report community standards violations to Horizon. He makes it
Mm-hmm.
the opening statement when you load into his world, because you have that same power that everybody else in that world does, to be able to report people for being racist, for being toxic, for being disruptive, for everything negative in here that you don't want. So if you want to continue to support Horizon as a community, start reporting these people that are causing these experiences, and not blaming the people who are creating these worlds. Because if I come to your
Mm-hmm.
world and somebody's racist or disrespectful to me, I'm not reporting you. I'm not coming for your world. I'm going right over to the person who's being disrespectful to me, and I'm clicking on them three dots and I'm reporting it. That's what we're
Facts.
supposed to do.
Yep. 100%.
Hmm, hmm.
So, as far as this sneak recording, because I did want to at least touch a little bit on your show and how you're supporting people, and just shout out to all of the guests that have been on, and for all the people who have taken the time to better understand the guests that are on his stage. I really want y'all to take a moment and think about every person that you have a problem with in this metaverse. Is it because you just don't like somebody, or is it because you heard something about somebody, or is it just because you have a perception of them and you just haven't taken the time to just have a conversation? Really think about it when you get a chance, because you'd be surprised how many people that you may not like, and it's just because you haven't taken a moment to just have a conversation. And that's what Burden of Proof has put, a platform for people to get it out there. I've put this platform and this microphone for people to ask about it, and so many other places where you can literally go in and just talk about it and get it out there. So
Speaking
let's
of
talk about
likes,
this
you
sneak
just hit.
record. Oh, go ahead.
Speaking of likes, you just hit 200, sir. Congratulations.
Yes,
200
sir.
likes.
Let's go.
Yes,
What?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dang.
Okay,
Y'all are
okay.
amazing, for real. Whoever the 200th like
Dope.
was, I'll assume it's
Dope.
each one of y'all. Y'all can share the credit. Thank you. I definitely don't chase
Congrats.
numbers. That's one of my biggest things.
Congrats.
When I got in here, I
Congrats.
was addicted to that number. I want to see 1,000 people in my world. I want to see 2,000. I want to see five
Right.
thousand, 10,000. Where does it end? It literally doesn't.
Right.
And I
Right.
took that away
Mhm.
from DB. If I can shout him out, DB hosted his world every single day, and it still to this day has the most likes. If you look at DB Studio and you go look at something like Action Island, Retro Zombies, Venues, all these worlds that are literally everywhere on your menu, DB has the most likes of any world. Tell
No
me how that's
lies.
not every
No
bit
lies.
he owns that. Like, that is a hundred
Right.
percent because of him. So shout out
Right.
DB, and shout out that entire method of just making his world accessible, welcoming, shouting people out as they come through the door. I mean, that blueprint, that's untouchable. So,
Straight up.
but thank you for shouting out the 200 likes. I don't chase the
No
numbers,
doubt.
but I appreciate when y'all post to the world, when y'all post on social media, and when you like. So, I mean, my gratitude is endless. I can't express it enough. I would literally sit here and thank y'all until you left the world if I could, but I'm not going to do that because I want y'all to stay. So on that, let's go back to the sneak recording, because my
Yep.
biggest thing about this sneak recording, I don't care if somebody records me and puts it on social media. What I do care about is taking what I say out of context. putting a caption on there that says that there's something that I'm doing wrong and it's not community focused, because I've been through this with the community where they've shown me somebody out here talking on your name about you're not really about the community. If you don't join us, you're not showing us that you're really about the community. You're actually trying to monetize your community. You're going to monetize tours. You're going to help people monetize information. You're out here preaching about community, but there's a dollar sign somewhere in there. You're not doing it for free. It's impossible. I'm telling you right now, and I even spoke on it earlier today. My first year in here, I had made exactly 0 cents from Meta, not one penny from Meta. Everything I did was for free. Everything I did was about the community. Everything I did was for every single one of y'all in this room and everybody that's been in this room and in every world. Literally just spending time trying to help grow this platform and make it a welcoming place and have a better experience than I first had. And people were still telling me that it was all about just me making a buck and about me trying to monetize my page. People didn't even
Right.
realize I created an avatar and a Facebook account for my avatar because I was asked to. And they were coming for me saying that I was basically trying to monetize my community. And eventually, when everybody was getting access to connected accounts in their menu, then it finally clicked. Oh, Oculus was actually trying to do something to help launch this new feature. Oh, we should be embracing this new feature because now you can follow me as a creator and I can get follows through Horizon on my page. So it was like
Right.
all this misunderstanding from just one person saying he's got a Facebook account for his avatar, he's monetizing, he's out here trying to make money off of y'all. And that's why the sneak recording really bothers me, because if you're going to record me, at least say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and post this online. Do you have a problem with it? Or, hey, I'm recording right now. Are y'all good? Are y'all good with it? I think that's respect. That we deserve that respect.
I agree, but like when we like he was saying earlier in regards to there's definitely a in real well you said it as well in real life they definitely have a space for these people that come and do these type of things like that. So like you were saying before, like just don't create a situation where you can give them content. I mean,
Hmm.
but again, like he said, people feed off of drama. You know what I'm saying, and
Yep.
things like that. So anywhere there's drama, there's going to be somebody, you know what I'm saying, recording and things like that. I personally, I personally don't think it's a bad thing, if you will. I think there's definitely a lane for it. And I mean, if you're going to be in somebody's face creating negative content, I
Hmm.
I mean, there was situations that I've recorded.
Yep.
There's was situations in the stew where they just being bullies and just trolling and just, you know what I'm saying, keep pressing the buttons and things like that. And I'm like, I'm gonna record this because I need to make sure somebody else knows about this so they can tell somebody about it. You things like that.
Hmm.
I didn't tell anybody I was recording. You dig what I'm saying? And things like that. So I mean, I definitely understand what you're saying, but personally, sometimes I think it's warranted that some of these people get recorded. I mean, and then honestly speaking, it eliminates certain dramas that may transpire if that person continues on acting like that. I mean, I mean, talking behind somebody, that's literally, if it's not recorded, nobody knows it happened. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Yeah.
then eventually it becomes a he say, she say thing. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's actually even better that they get it on film because now you have to hold yourself accountable for what you said and what you did. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, I understand it from your perspective, but from that negative aspect, sometimes I think yeah, sometimes it's needed to record because some people think they can hide behind this avatar and do anything. You know what I'm saying? But once you hit them with that spotlight, oh, then you have to account for what you did. You know, and that's not an easy thing for nobody.
So I kind of agree with that, but I was just thinking back to the beginning. Somebody voted to remove the stream camera, and I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and record this session. I'm gonna send this off to Oculus support when it's done, and they got the logs to see who's doing it. So please leave if you're gonna continue to be disruptive and pull to remove people. And it immediately stopped. But I at least
Mm-hmm.
gave that warning that I'm gonna go ahead and record. But I get what you're saying about if somebody's really just, talking about somebody behind their back and then later on not own up to it, having that video is literally your burden of proof to what they were saying.
Mm.
Here we go.
No, no,
But
no.
I do want to ask people, how do y'all feel right now? Let me see thumbs ups if you agree with recording and not having to be told you're being recorded. Thumbs down if you prefer people tell you you're being recorded. I mean, let's see out there what y'all think. Thumbs up or thumbs down, because I feel like if you are okay with just being recorded in every world, if you feel it's okay that people can use you for content and not even have the decency of saying, I'm recording you, that's definitely different than what Burden is saying, to where if you're
Definitely,
just
definitely,
acting out and you are deliberately speaking on somebody's name who's not in the room, that's literally you recording them and saying, all right, this is what you said. So what do you have to say now? Like, without that
Mm,
context, you
right,
really are just he says, she said, and it's never ending drama. For me,
definitely.
though, my follow up to that before I let Super speak on it, if I'm in the room and Burden right now is speaking on Super and Super's not here, I know that when I leave, Burden's speaking on me whenever I'm not around to whoever will
Mhm.
listen. So I immediately
mm,
cut off that person. While it's great to be able to
Facts.
go to the person and say, you know what, Super, Bourbon was talking on you, and let me show you the clip. It's better for
mm,
me to say, all right, Burden, I don't mess with you no more, because I know that as soon as I'm not around, you talking on me the same way you're talking on
Right,
Super. So it
right.
doesn't solve the problem, but it at least lets me know who I need to be, involving myself with. So I guess there's
yeah.
two
Hundred
sides to
percent.
that. There's probably multiple sides
Definitely.
to it. I mean, what are your thoughts
Hmm.
on that? Do you still stick around if you hear people constantly just trashing people?
Me
I'm.
personally,
Who you
oh,
told me?
go ahead, Soup.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Me personally, no. I'm not honestly. I'm not one for the he say she say drama stuff. I'm like I said. I'm very transparent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm black and white. I'm like, if you can say it, if you can say it behind somebody's back, you should be able to say it to their face. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
in that regards, nah, I don't really stick around. It turns into quite a show sometimes in regards to what ensues when it keeps going. But in regards to like sticking around, no, I try not to, unless it's somebody that I really kick it with a
Yeah.
lot. Then I'm like, let me spawn them in here. Let me see if you say that now, or one
Mm,
of those situations like that. But for the most part, when I hear the drama and things like that, I usually take off and just go on about my business.
yeah. No, I'm the same way. Yeah. Honestly, I don't care. Like if somebody like I grew up and taught that words were just words, actions are
Mm-hmm.
actions. So if somebody's
Right.
talking mess to me, it only they only win that argument if I let it. So if I react
Mm,
to it, if I give it attention. So I grew up that entire way. So like if somebody calls me a name or says this or that, I'm like, okay, cool, that's what I am then, and then I continue to do what I do. So it is different if it's somebody that I'm cool with. Like if I mess with on a daily, that
right.
I'll give a little bit more attention, and I'll pull them
Right.
to the side, one on one, private conversation, and then either we hash it out or we move our separate ways, and that's kind
Right.
of how I leave it that way. But other
Mm-hmm.
than that, yeah, I don't really care that drama stuff. I don't really care for it.
Yeah, I guess it's tough because if I'm cool with the person that I'm kicking it with and I'm cool with the person that they're talking about, see, I'm the type, I'll put my name out there for other people. And I've done it publicly a number of times. If somebody's got the wrong impression about somebody, I'll speak up. I will go and die on that hill and I will say, I vouch for this person, they're good people. You got it wrong. This is probably what you're expressing, but I'm telling you right now, like this person is genuine, and I've had a whole comment section come for me for it, and I'm okay with that
Mm,
because if my name looks bad trying to defend somebody who doesn't deserve being put down, I'm okay with that. I don't
yeah.
mind if somebody
Yes.
wants to put my name in the mud.
Facts.
I've
Hmm.
already dealt with it
Facts.
in my inbox. I've dealt with it publicly. I've had people come for me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. No matter what, people are always going to come for you. And Jay Dunn said it the best to me.
Mm,
I wish he was still here, um,
hmm.
but he said somebody told him when you're heading towards any kind of negativity, if people are coming for you, that means you're moving in the right direction. If it was
Yeah.
easy, it's not the direction you're going for. You're going for something that's going to help you grow, lessons that you learn. And like with Super Mario Brothers, if you just stand still, the enemy can't hurt you. The enemy's never going to touch you if you're not moving. But as soon as you
Right.
start advancing towards the enemy to get to that goal, that's when you got to overcome it. So when you're greeted with negativity, any kind of people coming for you or saying you're doing it wrong, that you need to change what you're doing, that's just further proof that you're doing it right. So keep
Yep.
heading in that direction because that's the only way you grow. That's the only way that you understand what your limits are, be able to overcome any of the tough part. Whoa, is that Flip? I think that's Flip. That's my twin. I haven't seen him in a whole metaverse year. Whoa, shout out. Um,
Yeah.
but it's true though. The times that people are coming for you the most is when you're going in the right direction and you're doing it right. So keep pushing forward. But I do think
Definitely.
that there's half where I stand up for people no matter what people are going to think of me. But at the same time, there are people where I'm just like, I'm just not gonna mess with you no more, and I'll move on without even addressing it. Like, do you ever have issues in the metaverse, as of recent, or anytime you've been in here where you've been conflicted on whether or not you should just cut people off, or you just like to just socialize, so you're just like, I'll let them talk, and I'm gonna keep kicking it with them.
I mean, if if they kind of like give me that perception or that vibe where they're the type of person that likes to talk behind people's back, and then they are cool with them in their face and then like not cool with them when they leave and start talking, I won't really say anything. I'll kind of just chop it up to my own personal choice to say I'm not going to mess with you no more, and that could just be distancing myself from them. But I won't get involved in the drama or talk to them about. I'll just be like, okay, well, I know now because I'm a very observant person. So I'm just like, okay, cool. This is
Right.
how you roll. I'll keep it moving this way. You keep it moving this way. That's kind of how I am.
Yeah, I
What about
I've
you,
had
Bird?
people come to my worlds and actually like trash people that I know, and I'll flat out
Mhm.
tell them like, why do you put all this energy into putting somebody down who's not here to defend himself? Like, why don't you go
Yeah.
talk to them and work it out? Because
True.
in all
Yep. Yep.
honesty, what can I do to help you with your problem with somebody else? Absolutely nothing.
Hmm.
So if you got a problem with
Nothing.
somebody, get on the phone, get in the Oculus
Hmm.
Messenger, get on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, go talk to them in a DM. Don't do it in public and work out your shit. That's the only way you
Yeah.
can solve it. And if you can't work it
Exactly.
out, go your separate ways.
That's
Respect the
it.
fact that y'all don't
That's
agree.
facts. That is fact. That's the mature way of handling
Agreed.
it. I love it.
100%.
Yep. Hmm.
So I guess
I'm
the
with you.
reality is the sneak recording really ain't an issue because in all honesty, if you're a decent person and somebody asks you to take it down, do it. If you're recording
Hmm.
and the people around you know it or they don't know it, I think the reality is there's just some people who are uncomfortable being recorded and they would like that respect. So I think as a
Yep.
general courtesy, if you're recording, if you're looking for content, just tell people you're recording. Most of the time they won't care. They'll leave the space or they'll be vocal about it and be like, I don't want you to record right now. Like, we're having a good time and you just showed up. I guess it depends on the circumstance. But overall, if you're
Hmm.
recording just to get content and make people look bad, I'm just going to say it. That's a no. Absolutely.
Listen, no.
That's a
Facts.
I
no.
think when
Facts.
people know I come into a world, they immediately know I'm recording. So they already know, oh, Super's here. Shh. Let's not say a word.
P's and Q's time. P's and Q's time.
It's,
Exactly,
it's this
exactly.
guy right here. That's who I'm worried about whenever I see him.
You see
That's
his
it.
mouth moving? He's repeating everything that we
Yeah.
talking about. See him
Yep. Can't trust him
I
for
love it.
nothing. He repeating
I
everything we
Yeah.
love it.
say.
This guy's my evil
So,
brother.
so
You guys
Sue,
be careful with this
I
guy.
want to give you a chance to shout out where they can find you, all your social medias, and of course, you're gonna come back to get some selfies and then close out the show on yours. But tell everybody where they can
Mhm.
find you, and of course, shout out you for everything you've been doing everywhere, not just in here, but on all social media. Go ahead and share that with
Oh,
everybody.
appreciate you. Hey, yeah. So,
Definitely.
I'm pretty much on all social media platforms. On TikTok, it'll be my name right there, Super, just spelled just like this with underscore AF. And then you got my YouTube channel, which is just Super. I appreciate you guys if you follow the YouTube channel because I am trying to get to that 1,000 sub mark to get monetized. I'm already
Hey,
monetized on Facebook Gaming. On my way with TikTok, and then Instagram will be up next. But yeah, social media platforms, Super underscore AF or just Super. And then yeah. that's where I'm at.
All right. So make sure you follow Super on everything.
Mhm.
Subscribe. Help him get his bills paid.
Mhm.
Keep the lights on. Food in his on his table,
Mhm.
and of course, be able to continue hang out here and socialize. Appreciate you,
Oh
Super,
yes,
for
sir.
coming up on
And then
stage on no
I want to
notice.
give one more shout out. One more shout out. I want to give a big shout out to my primitive team, the ones Golden Hand 222, Dunder Builds, Catch These Hands, boy standing right there. Let's go, my man. Golden Rays,
Yeah.
JB, and Biggie Paws. We are about to do some amazing work. Shout out to everybody that came to the Club Colors event. Y'all the real ones. But yeah, watch out. Watch out. We doing some amazing things, man. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Dope.
All right,
Watch
Burden.
out.
It's
He's
on.
leaving the stage. Shout out, Super.
That was
Appreciate you
that
coming
was
up
That
on the
was dope.
fast.
stage,
I
talking
need
on
that.
the sneak recording. I appreciate the fact that you had some really good insight on not just recording for content, but having the decency if somebody were to say, you know what, can you take that down? Because I don't really like how I look in that. People might take it negatively. So appreciate you being a decent person on top of being an
Definitely.
honorable
Definitely.
person as well. That's hard to find, not even in the real world, but in the metaverse. So shout out to Super and everything you're doing. Catch these hands in the
Soup.
front row, shout you out, flip the plug. We got all kind of people in the audience, which because of small name tags now, I can't really see everybody. But make sure that y'all like and follow. Definitely make friends with people that are in these shows. You never know the people that you'll connect with, the things that y'all can relate on. Y'all might end up in a build session sometime. You might even be up on stage here one day because y'all just connected. That's been kind of the theme of everything that I've done is connecting people, helping them find resources, giving them an opportunity to be able to meet each other, and just being able to support the community. So shout y'all out, everything y'all are doing. Burden, slide on
Facts.
back down the couch. We're not gonna
Yes,
bring nobody up
sir.
on stage. Keep it
Oh,
nice and
good.
warm. So Burden, I mean, you talked a little bit about before VR when you came in, how things kind of changed quickly after you got here, your show, supporting your guests. I want to talk about the future of Burden of Proof. I know you said a little bit about your veterans world where you want to support veterans, military vets, and just to continue on with that rebranding or that construction of your Ask Your Q, Speak
Yes,
Your
sir.
Truth.
Yes, sir.
If you had anybody out there, didn't matter who it was, if you had the best builders and the best scripters, and you could make a world that would just blow everybody away, if it was, you don't have to give out an idea that is even real. Just sky's the limit. If you could create something, regardless of who it was for, if it was just for you, if it was for the community, what would you do with that? If you just had unlimited resources to create something?
Uh, if I had the ability to create something, I would utilize my. I would honestly utilize it to try to see if we can create a better situation to figure out how to house these homeless people in the real in reality. I think
Oh wow.
I think that's a situation worth investing in. Um, I don't know what it is about this country and things like that, but we tend to mind everybody else's business before we mind our own. And I think sometimes that's to our own disadvantage. I think we have enough problems within this own country that we need to, I guess, adhere to and figure out. So, if there was anything that I could do, or anything that I could create, I would definitely try to create a situation or something within Horizon World that can benefit um, people that are homeless, um, look for shelter and things like that, and trying to find rehabilitation homes and things like that within the real world, within their areas and things like that, to where they can get to and to better service them. I personally speaking, I think that's something I would love to engage in and love to create within this metaverse to where we can help a lot of the homeless within this country and find a better situation for them. Because right now, man, you come to some of these areas in this world, in this country, in these states, the homeless rate is almost as big as the population rate. And it's crazy that nobody's even doing anything about it. I mean, you literally walk by these people and act like they don't even exist. And I don't think that's fair because some of these people are vets. Some of these people are just on hard luck. Some of these people are just victims of this economy and the way COVID has just taken over so abruptly. and they can't get back, and it's hard even for us as people. It's hard for us. Literally, people are within this space learning how to recreate themselves because of COVID. So we're having a hard time doing. Just think about those homeless people that don't have any outlet. So to create a space for them to say, "Hey, we're here," I think that's needed personally. So if there was something I could create, it would definitely be something like
Damn, that's pretty that's deep. Like I was thinking, if you
that.
had unlimited resources to create something for you, something to connect people in here or help people build. You talking about
Right.
taking it back to the real world to actually help with these real world problems. I mean, I got to give it to you for that one. That answer is
Appreciate it,
wow.
man.
Now that got
Appreciate
me
it.
thinking. Like, as much as I think about the community, there's not much that translate back into the real world other than people's mental health. And you actually took it to
Hmm.
that next level. I mean, Tanger's got those resources in the homeless hub. Smile Honey Child is educating children and getting them into the metaverse, and through
Right.
Script Kids teaching people, under the age of 18 how to build, and that's just preparing them for the future. But
Right.
right now, fixing things right now, damn, I, that just made me like now I got to think about it because it's the truth. If there was a way that what we do in here could impact out in the real world people who really need it, because we are really only one bad decision away from being in that situation. That's the reality.
Facts. Facts. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. hundred
Damn.
percent. And it's definitely needed. I definitely need it. I mean, and I guess because I was in the military and things like that. I mean, man, these third world countries will humble you in a minute. And I mean, not just these third world countries. Just go to Southern California, go to LA, go to the main strips and things like
Yeah.
that. Just look at the population of
Homeless
homeless
everywhere.
people, or go to Oakland and just look at all these huts and these tents and these whole villages of homeless people that have been created. And everybody just walk by them like they're part of the community. Like, no, they need help, but they're fending for themselves because we just walk
Yep.
right by them and act like it doesn't even exist because we have so much to deal with in regards to our own worlds and just try to sustain for ourselves, to where we forget about everything else that's going on. But we got enough money to give Ukraine and all these other third world countries to aid themselves. We just gave somebody $4.8 billion, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, what about us? We can use that. So I mean, sometimes I don't know. So if we can create a resource for these homeless people and things like that, I think it would definitely be something beneficiary for everybody as a whole. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, without getting political or too deep into the real world problems, I think back to with the housing crisis in 2008.
Mm,
Instead of these big banks can't fail, it should have been these homeowners can't lose their homes. These people who
yes,
were put
yes,
in loans that
yes.
they can't absolutely afford with the variable interest rates, getting
Right,
something for 3% and then it floats to 15 after a year.
right.
And people didn't understand what they were
Facts.
signing, but the government didn't put the money into the people to be able to pay their bills. They put the money into the banks so that way the banks would survive. So tell
Yep.
me this, if the banks collected the mortgages from the people struggling, they wouldn't need to be bailed out. And that's the part I just cannot wrap my head around, is that money keeps going into these places to support all the businesses, but if you support the people, they'll put the money into the businesses and they'll still survive.
It makes
So I
sense.
keep seeing these $1 billion, like the one thing about the stimulus was that people immediately put it into savings or they paid bills instead of shopping. And that was a misconception of that's why we didn't get more stimulus checks, because it wasn't
Right,
stimulating the
right,
economy. People were paying bills and putting in savings in case something bad happened.
right.
So money keeps going everywhere else. I think that what you were
Facts.
talking about, being able to actually real world help, we just need to be able to connect with these outside initiatives and
Yes.
somehow support it monetarily or whatever it may be, so that way we can help these real world issues. I mean,
A hundred percent.
I got to spend some time thinking on that. That's
Yes,
definitely
sir.
going on one of my topics for my discussions with my connects. But absolutely,
Definitely.
wow. Um, all right, you got me speechless because I wasn't even thinking about outside of the metaverse. So now I feel
Yeah.
like I haven't been putting enough time into the real community. So let me think on that a little bit. We'll come back to it.
Oh no, it
Burden,
definitely
I want to ask
goes
you.
hand in hand. Go ahead.
Oh, for sure. It has to go hand in hand because we
Right.
have the luxury of being in these headsets to be able to, experience this metaverse. And it's
Right.
because we aren't worried about where our next meal is coming from. Maybe some of y'all are, struggling with bills, but you're not homeless. You on somebody's Wi Fi right now. It might be your neighbors, but the reality
Right.
is there's always somebody doing worse than you are.
hundred
And
percent.
I can't stress enough that it only takes just taking a moment and thinking about that and you start to really appreciate what you have and you'll put more into helping others.
hundred
But
percent.
I do want to ask you now that you have the success of Ask Your Q, Speak Your Truth, if Meta came to you and they wanted to support your show and they said, we're gonna give your guests money or we're gonna give you some kind of platform, put your world in the menu, like would that change a little bit of where your show would go, or do you think that just by them putting it in more places for people to find it, and maybe that community shifts of who comes to your world now that more people can find it? Do you think that would change the format? Do you think it would help the format? Do you think it might hurt it because of overnight success comes with that overnight flood of toxic people? What do you think about that if they were to support you that way?
I don't think it would change.
I mean, imagine ten
I
thousand
don't think it.
people are now coming to your show and it supports 26, I think.
I I don't think it would actually. I don't think it would change. I think I would have to find more intriguing people within the. I mean, I would have to just find more topics within the space that intrigue people to want to come and listen to, if you will. Personally speaking, shoot, if they give me a capacity of 32 or 40, I mean, I'm grateful, you know. But if Meta came and wanted to assist or things like that, I will be more than open to it and things like that. But I don't think the structure of what I do within the space would change. Like I was telling people before, the magic is what happens with the people when they give the information. It's not necessarily the build or anything like that. So I mean, I don't think anything would change because I don't think I would change. You know, I would still follow the same platform of trying to keep my guests safe. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I do my research and things like that. So in regards to changing, I don't think it'll change. I just think it'll be open to more people and we would have more uh conversations that I think are needed for people to have so we can have a better control of what's going on within this metaverse because it is honestly therapeutic in a huge manner. I mean, I literally utilize this thing to take a breath, if you will, you know, and it validates a lot of what I'm doing out there in the real world because it works so well here. So I'm telling myself, if I can do this within this space, I know it's only a matter of time for me to do it in real life. It's just the fact that I have so many more people around me telling me no, I can't do things in the real world. Vice here, I can streamline those people here because I can literally control where I could go and who I associate with within this metaverse. You see what I'm saying? So it's easier in here, but I know it works. Everything that I'm doing within this space works. So I know out there it's only a matter of time, if that makes any sense.
No, it definitely makes sense, and I think that what you're doing is amazing. That you've consistently, stuck to the overall vibe of your world with not only making your guests feel comfortable, but also your audience comfortable to be able to ask these questions. So I really like that dynamic that you've created for people, and it's definitely different than other places. Like this talk show is a little different because I bring people up on stage. I don't tell people who's coming in advance. We kind of talk about a general sense of the entire metaverse, starting from when you got here to anything that you've come across in your time here. and also giving people the opportunity to ask questions or just kind of just take in all the information and use that in their own worlds, use it in their own experiences. And I really appreciate the fact that there's so much variety of selection here, so you can really support as many people as you want. It just depends on how much time you
Definitely.
spend in this headset.
100%. 100%. I agree.
So I want to ask you the same question I asked Felsos about, shout out as many people as you want, but who's influenced you in this space? Who's kind of paved the way for you? Who's helped you along the way? Anybody you want to shout out, please feel free to shout them out.
Uh Influence wise, I wouldn't say um influence. I just think like I said, I didn't come into this situation for any other reason but to uh help if I could. This wasn't something that I knew about ahead of time and said, "Oh, I'm going to jump on this thing so I can monetize, or I can do this, or I can do that." So, in regards to looking for influences, I just personally, I didn't come in initially for that type of, I guess, setting or vibe, if you will. I admire a lot of people in this space. You are one of those people that I've met, you know what I'm saying, off the bat, that I definitely have grown to admire even more in regards to what you do and how you do it for this community. Oh man, I can go back as far as
Appreciate you.
Angel the artist, Junior, Vic 3000. Oh my goodness, Black Jedi, man, Crack Goddess, Joy, JD, like you already mentioned. I mean, it's so many people that have um I've I've seen grow and seen mature within this metaverse space and things like that, that I have admired, that I definitely can call my friend within this metaverse, and that I know that if ever needed, I can come and they would definitely give assistance. Oh man. Yeah, so it's a multitude of people that I think I've gained influences from, and I admire a lot within this space, and I appreciate. I'm not a builder, like I said before. I'm more or less to see things that I think just need to happen, and with the assistance of everybody on all these great creators, they make it come to a reality. So I appreciate them wholeheartedly. Man, Rocks, Eltrum, Lex, Waffle Copter. I mean, man, you name them, they've all been instrumental in regards to me understanding what goes on and how to move within this metaverse and in this horizon space. So I definitely appreciate everybody's wisdom and their guidance in regards to what they do. I'm just trying to abuse my lane as much as I can and make it worthwhile for, you know what I'm saying, all you guys to be a part of. And so far, again, so far so good. And I definitely appreciate it.
No, that's amazing. And just the fact that so many people that you've met along the way, whether they inspired you, they helped you, they've influenced you, like all those people, they're incredible creators, builders, community members. Like it's just that's how we continue to grow, is by the people we network with, the people that we along the way get inspiration, collaborate with, and
Right.
just being able to just come together on an idea or just in a world to make something beautiful, like these incredible spaces that you've been able to put people up and be able to ask their question and speak that truth. So seriously, shout out to
Facts.
everybody mentioned. Is that Tone up there? Who is that?
It's definitely Tone up there.
Whoa, it's the hat. It's got to be the
How
hat.
y'all brothers doing?
Appreciate
Shout
you
out to
coming
T
through.
over there. He's definitely like we were talking about earlier in regard to the reconstruction of Ask the Q, Speak Your Truth. He's definitely a part of that build now, with MF Sun and things like that. So I want to shout him out personally. He right here now, so I'm gonna look at him in his face and I want to tell him thank you, and I wanted to let him know that I appreciate everything that he does. Honestly, for this whole Horizon world and this whole metaverse. I mean, I'm the art gallery and things like that. He's real active on Instagram. I can't even republish everything he sends me sometimes. He's very active on there and things like that. So I definitely appreciate him and giving his helping hand in regards to recreating the platform, which is Ask the Q, Speak Your Truth. So definitely, it's definitely a community effort in here. Definitely a community effort, and I greatly am humbled, and I appreciate everybody for helping me.
Yeah, that's amazing, and definitely shout out Tone because when I got the invite to be a guest judge for Art Wars, I was
Art
blown
Wars,
away because
yes,
number one, people who approach me for any kind of an event, I usually don't think people look to me for, especially art. I don't ever get the opportunity to be able to share art other than in world tours. And art is an essential part of Horizon Worlds that before we had all these experiences where we had the interactive games and we had all the club worlds and we had exploration, everything in here was art before all this the scripting came into play while they were still building the code blocks. Art Worlds was where Horizon kind of started. And to
hmm
see it evolve, if you look at some of the older art worlds and seeing some of the abstract art, some of the art that was based on realism, but of course with the primitives just not really matching to what we have now. These incredible Chirac and
right,
and and Be Breezy were just the art pieces that I saw that night. I didn't even think were
right,
possible in here. And shout out Chirac
facts,
and Breezy because Chirac I just seen posted publishing the Chirac's art world. The pieces in there just that's my whole childhood. Ducktales,
right,
got Ren and Stimpy, got
right, right,
Invader
right,
Zim.
right.
I mean, like all those art pieces. Every time he pulled one up on stage, I was just blown away. Seeing that in here, I never thought I would see that in
Yes,
here.
neither did I.
Have you
Right,
had any experience
100%.
in any art world? I know you talked about Angel, but any artists or art worlds that you've been to, or uh,
What's it?
Tone's setting the bar out there with
Start with it.
his world now.
Get on.
Sade
Say a
Chan.
name. Say a
Sade
name.
Chan. Sade
Sade
Chan.
Chance, right?
Oh,
She
say
is
yeah.
phenomenal. She is phenomenal in regards to her creations and things like that. She made a piece for this young man. Well, that Malcolm X piece he got. I don't know if I'm supposed to let that out, but hey,
It's yours
yo,
now, brother.
it is
Dope.
amazing. She's done Sade. She's done the Dead President's piece
Aaliyah.
for Hardy that she didn't even know was the Dead President's piece. Like, lo, I mean, she's done so many things. So that's definitely somebody that I definitely admire in regards to the art that she's been creating. And I see him up there. I'm gonna say something anyway because I seen this pop up in here. My guy Eltron, man. Shout out to Eltron real quick, man, because hey, that young man is a walking vibe, like for real, for real. And
Yep.
the things that he does within this space are next level. I told him already, that his world afloat. If y'all never been to a float, man, go. Like if you really like a cool setting, you want to relax and just sit there and think. A float is definitely one of those spaces that you need to go and venture to. He has a assortment of worlds that you know what I'm saying. Just he's very he's a comfort guy, real easy going and things like that. I love watching him think through his worlds. Like he literally thinks through his worlds, and I can see how his mind is turning sometimes and how he's thinking in certain aspects. And I think the world of that guy, and I want every time I see him, I'm gonna let him know, what I'm saying, and give him his flowers. To be uh who he is and coming from a whole different place of the world just to have the experiences and the things that he has within his mind and he shares with us within his bills and his world. I'm definitely greatly appreciative. So Eltrim is definitely afloat is definitely something you need to check out for real, for real.
Yeah, no doubt. And when I first met Eltrim, the first thing we talked about when we were kind of discussing worlds, uh, epoxy. That was the first world I experienced of
Yes,
Eltrim's. And
right,
I was like, all right, what's epoxy? Because the name itself is intriguing. He's like, I'm going to show you.
right,
And I was blown away by the creativity from just that day. And it's just continued to
yes,
grow since.
yes,
Um,
yes,
from there going to Lantern. Lantern was interesting because I had never seen anybody those lanterns that you light them and they float up to the sky. I'd never seen anybody create a world where it was so like peaceful. It was immersive. It was a good
Right.
hangout spot, and
Yeah.
it was just it was different. And then El Nova just blew me away when I had to feature it.
Yes.
I actually featured it back to back
Yes.
for 2 weeks because it was that
Yes.
good. The
Right.
craftsmanship, the effort, the detail that went into creating those I guess their outfits, the attachables. I just didn't know it was even capable in here. I think you literally pioneered fashion in Horizon. That was the first time I'd seen anybody put those shapes together, those text objects, and create actual fashion. And now we have Fashion Week starting next week, and I'm just
Right.
so blown away by the level of art
Yeah.
that
Jay
goes
on her
into
thing. I
some of this
can't wait to
stuff.
check that out. That's tomorrow's going down. I
Yep,
can't wait. I can't wait.
tomorrow. So shout out to El Trim again for just the worlds that you've created, the experiences you've created for people, the inspiration you've given people with your worlds, and of course now Vidyuu verified builder with his spring submission. Congrats to him and getting that builder badge. So shout out El Trim
Dope.
and all the work that you've been putting in.
100%.
I do want to bring it back to tone and bring it back to Art Wars and the amazing
Yep.
artists. So, Sadie Chan also created those meta pops, and the meta
Yes.
pops when I
I
first
saw
seen them.
yours. You got one.
Oh, damn! You blew it. You blew it. Oh, yes, I absolutely had to get one. I
Yeah, I saw that. I
absolutely had to
saw
get
that.
one.
I might
So
have to
here
go
was the thing,
track me
right?
one down. Yeah,
Oh, you have to. You absolutely need one.
definitely,
So
definitely.
when I seen him, of course, Michael Gregory had to be in there. He was one of the first. I don't know if he was the first, but when I seen his, I was like, I'm tired of him having everything. Because I was joking about last time when he was here. I was like, if you got a world idea, you better go build it because Michael Gregory gonna build three of them. And he was in the Discord, and I called him Mister
Facts.
Steal Your World. And I was like, you need to roll with that. Mr. Steal Your World is hilarious because he will build it. He is a hustler. He was
Yeah, he
nonstop in
on it.
build
He
mode,
stays
pushing
on it.
out worlds.
Yeah,
So when I seen him with the Metapop, I was like, I need to get in on this. I'm tired of him having everything. So I hit up
right.
Sadie Chan and I was like, I love your work. I want my pose. I need the E and I need that in Metapop. And she said, do
Yeah,
you want to be holding anything? Because everybody's holding something, whether it's the controllers for build mode or they got the microphone for the news. And I was like, I just want some tacos. And she was like, absolutely. So she went ahead and made me a
facts.
Metapop, and I posted that shit everywhere. I posted it
Yeah,
twice. I made a reel. I mean, that Metapop is perfection. Like I could not have asked for anything better. It
she
was
is
so good. So
phenomenal.
if y'all want a
Yes,
Metapop, even if you'll never use it, this is rolling back to supporting creators. Go spend the money. Go support her. Go support other artists. Get their art in your worlds. Get Metapop in your world. And seriously, it's time well spent and money well spent. Like imagine all of the people that you support and you show your support in the community, even if it's not through money. And then when it comes time for you, you're on top, and it's time for them to support you. You know how many people are going to
right,
be like, "Oh, Oculo supported me. I'm definitely going to support him. El Trim out here supporting people. I'm definitely going to support him. Sato out here doing amazing artwork. I'm going to definitely support him. It's all it takes is just supporting somebody, and your name will always be in the back of their mind when it comes time for you to need something. And they're going to step up
right.
and they're going to be like, oh, I'm absolutely going to go ahead and show that love. So, if anything, go out there and support these artists. Get a piece in your world. Early on in Club One, I had Up Too Late create a portrait based off of the album cover of a single that I did with Euphoria, and it was
Right.
just as kind of she was up bored and decided she wanted to make a portrait of our album cover, and I was like, "That's incredible! I'm putting it in Club One," and it's still there. But
Right.
supporting artists is something that I've not had a chance to do, like really like support. So as soon as I seen that Metapop, I was like, I need one. So make sure you get yourself one. Hit up Sadie Chan. Make sure you follow on Instagram. Get yourself a Metapop. Put it in your world. I mean, even if you don't put it in your world and keep it to yourself in your asset library, it doesn't matter. Just go
Right.
support
Well,
artists
not and
because
that
the work they put in,
and just to
incredible.
echo that, you don't like support just because you don't know what's going to happen next in regards to this whole Horizon World experience. Like honestly,
True.
like these headsets are about to the price is about to go up astronomically once
Oh,
Christmas comes
Cambria.
and things to that nature. So I mean, who knows what's going to happen in the future in regards to Horizon World and these Oculuses and things like that. So to be a part of this, I mean, it's history in the making if you really think about it. Like a lot of you guys have been in here since day one and literally created this from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to have these things in your possession, if you will, even if it is just through virtual reality, I mean, I think it's kind of phenomenal. I mean, when your kids get older, you can like, yeah, I was a part of that. Oh, yeah, you in there right
It's
now, but
true.
I was in there when it first started. Let me show you. I got pictures. Let me show you my cell phone. Look, things like that. I mean, it's just to have validation for the things that we're doing within this space. I mean, just for that sake alone, what? Support, definitely support.
It's funny you mentioned that because it made me think of the pictures that I post from the beta. I'm glad that not one person has said that's a flex. Like I'm not flexing that I was here during the beta because I've
Right.
always said and I continue to say, stop telling people you were first. Just go out there and just do it well or do it better than somebody else who's already did it first. Because that's what's important. If you're out here claiming you did it first and you're not, who are you actually impressing? Like, are you trying to validate yourself? Is it about
Right.
being first, really? Or is it about just trying to get that attention to say, I did something different? Realistically, just do it better. Don't worry about being first. Because I can't tell you how many times I've
Mm-hmm.
seen a post and they said, I'm the first club, I'm the first hangout spot, I'm the first action game. It doesn't matter what it is, like always the first. And every time I look at it, I'm like, I would comment, but it doesn't matter. Like, I don't want them to feel like I'm attacking them for saying they're first. I just want people to really understand that being first is not anything more than a privilege of getting there first. You do not get that privilege of doing it better because it's first. Just go out there and put the effort in and make it better. When Sato came in, I want to shout out Sato. Sato posted that first artwork, and he was first. I don't care. His comic, that was art. And when he posted it, he said, hopefully I'm not bothering anybody with my comics. I just want to share it with the community. And I was
Right.
definitely on that post, and I said, this is incredible. Continue posting these. And everybody else is in them comments. This is amazing. This is incredible. The story is incredible. Oh my God, I've never seen anything like this. And Sato, I thought he was making it out in the real world. I thought his comics were like well known and his is like blowing up in the real world and he's got a following. And I talked to him and he said, honestly, people don't support you in the real world like they do in the metaverse. Just like I heard from like Via Roma said, when you try to get customers from your friends, it's much easier to make friends with your customers than it is to make your friends a customer because it's hard to get people to
Facts.
support you out there. But in the
Facts.
metaverse,
Facts.
everybody that saw his comics were like, "Oh my god, it's incredible! Let me get in there." I mean, he hooked me up with the Horizon Heroes. I mean, thank you so much for making me a part of that. But all the creators that he's added in his comics have just been like eternally grateful that he's made art from their avatars and the time spent in these worlds that he's captured in these comics. And it really is exactly like Jason Earl said, who you are in the metaverse is just amplified from who you are in the real world. Like I
That's it.
can't stress that enough. Like everything that people are
Man,
doing in here,
so true.
I don't know about the artists that are in here, but if they can do that kind of art in the real world, like that's why they're so amazing in here because it's just amplified. And I think
Yep.
that also speaks to what you're doing on your show, what you're doing to give people this platform. Would you have done that in the real world? Would you have gone out there and got a building and set up a stage and put together an audience and
It's funny you say that. I talk to people around all the time. this metaverse because I can literally streamline who I want to associate myself with within this space. But out there in the real world, you're attacked by so many different variables that tell you you can't do something. So it's going to take a little bit longer out there, but it's all good. I mean, anything worth struggle is worth having. So I'm all about it. I'm all about it. So definitely. But
I'm
never
glad you
thought
said
in a million years
everything
I'd be
that's
doing this.
worth having is a struggle, because it really is difficult to go above and beyond what it is that you think you're capable of. And in the metaverse, I feel like it's just removed all those barriers. There's so many times where I've
Facts.
heard people come in here and say, I can't build, I can't script. And I've even said it myself. I can't do this, I can't do that. I'll never learn it. And Lake supported me in getting my builder and my scripter badge, because he really wanted me to show what I could do. And when he said, I believe that if you spent some time scripting, you could understand it. And he would encourage me
Yep.
to make my first script. I mean, it was a respawn script, but at least I started somewhere. And every
Right.
time I said I can't do it, or I'll never learn it, or I just don't understand it, the first thing he said to me was, just go try it. What do you want to learn? Here, I'll help you. Here, go look at this video. You can learn how to do rotations. Go check out this video, because I already did it on, how to make, object return. Like, there were so many things that I was just like, oh, I can't do it. Or let me just go into the essentials bundle and I'll import all your scripts over and over again.
Right.
But I didn't learn anything. And then when I
Right.
finally went to the launcher competition and I created that 3 lines of script to just show everybody that they could create a launcher too, like, that's when it changed for me. Like, that's when I started thinking, rather than just saying I can't do it, just put the time in. How many times,
Right.
think back 5 years ago that you were like, I'm never going to get through this. I'm down on, down on myself. I can't figure this out. I'm not going to get nowhere. And 5 years later, better job or better opportunities, or that
Right.
drama and then problems are just a memory now. I mean,
100%.
this is where you can just leave all that behind. Just do what you want to do in here and just continue to grow and do something that you're
Mm-hmm.
passionate about. I was mentioning earlier, I love after every topic, if I look at the audience, I see new people. Look at this audience right here to support the show, but here to support you. I mean, thank you all. Seriously, confetti for y'all right now, because number one, y'all are here. It's all about the community. Like, y'all already know, I support every single one of y'all. Some of y'all been here from the
Hey,
very
chill
first
out.
minute.
You picked up.
Looks like we we even got the family in the background. So shout out to everybody who's here. Appreciate every single one of y'all. But if y'all got any questions for Burden, please come up to the microphone. I mean, now is your time to ask your Q, and maybe he can speak his truth on whatever it is that
I
y'all
love how you
have.
did
So
that.
please
That was slick. That was
check out the
slick.
microphone. It's always open. If y'all got questions, please feel free to come up, because Burden's up here for tonight. He really does, care about the community, about helping, about giving back, but also he's here and obligated to answer any questions because he's on my stage.
There you go.
Sado, again, shout you
Hey,
out.
what's
I
up?
love you,
Thank
dude.
you.
You're
Appreciate it.
amazing.
Thank you. I just had one question. What is a metapop?
Oh my God, Metapop. Oh, so glad you asked about that. I'm so excited because I was gonna like legit brag about my Metapop, and I'm like the 8th maybe to get one. So the
Oh man,
Funko
brag away.
Pops in the metaverse, the Funko Pops made by Sadie Chan in the metaverse. So if you get a chance, go follow Sadie Chan, SAYDEECHAN.VR on Instagram. She actually created a bunch of meta pops for the Meta News. They just had an anniversary, and so all of the people on Meta News got meta pops. They're incredible. So, also I
It's
was able to
like
get one. So
it's like a mini figurine of who you are as your
Okay,
avatar.
cool.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like a
I'm definitely
miniature
gonna get
you.
one.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going for that. Okay, Sadie Chan.
definitely.
Nice.
yeah, I would love to see one of you, because if I don't see a comic book in that Meta Pop's hand, you did it wrong. So make sure you have her put a
It's
comic
like
in
a
your hand.
Funko Pop.
Oh, what happened? Wes Price backed up. Oh, who we got? Tone on mute. Go ahead and unmute, and then
Tone.
welcome number one. Welcome Tone to the
Hey,
stage.
what's up, guys? What's up,
Welcome.
guys? Thank
Shout
y'all
What
out
up,
for all
baby?
the
everything you're
kind
doing.
words too earlier. I appreciate all that. Everything y'all said about what we trying to do with the art community. My
No doubt.
question to Burden: is do you feel like your experience in the military has helped you in being able to bring together such a diverse community within the metaverse? I watch your show. I've been keeping up with your show since I got here, and I noticed that your guests expand over a wide diversity, from scripters to builders to artists to just tastemakers within the space. And I just wonder if that experience in the military has helped you with being able to deal with a multitude of different people, because you seem to handle everybody, so well and fairly, and just treating everybody with a, certain integrity.
Oh, great call out. Absolutely. Didn't
100%.
even touch on that. You should come up here and
Yes.
host. You're doing a better job than me from the mic. Damn. Yes. Answer
No,
that.
but that's
That
why
is a
you
great
have him come
question.
up and ask. That's all good.
Nah, you
Yes.
killing it. You
Honestly,
killing it, Oculus.
Appreciate you.
I would definitely say that my time within the military has allowed me patience with people, not just within my own culture, but within a diverse culture, if you will, or and things like that. I think it's definitely taught me patience, and it's taught me that everybody, even though they come from different walks of earth, everybody's entitled to their own way of life, and you can't help somebody's experiences. You know what I'm saying? So you have to give them that open opportunity to express themselves. And then based on your experiences, you guys can have a collaborative discussion, if you will, or a dialogue. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because like we said earlier, everybody can agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be friends, but I mean, just respect each other. So, but I would say definitely my military background has assisted me in doing that. Um, in making, I would definitely say that it's definitely assisted me, and just learning, like keeping my ear to the streets and things like that, the meta streets, if you will, and things like that. That also
No
allows
doubt.
me that comfort level that I've created within this space of, because I really like know you guys. Like I literally hang around you guys a lot within this metaverse. So once it's time to have that discussion, half the battle was already done because we've already had communication before and things like that. So it's easier. The conversation becomes easier and things like that. So definitely, it's definitely the military, but in addition to that, just being around you guys for as long as I've been now, it makes me comfortable as well.
Yeah, I only ask that question because I find it's really easy to kind of like get into your comfort zone of, the people that you typically would hang with maybe in your real life in here. So you just kind of vibrate towards that. And it's so many dope people in this space that do dope things that I feel like, if it weren't for shows like yours that bring people together, a lot of people wouldn't know who's who in these other communities and who they can relate to and do things with. So I
Okay,
think that
so
you're doing great work, man. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna shine real quick. I'm gonna just blow my horn real quick. I'm gonna just toot my horn real quick. Something happened within this metaverse that I feel I think my show was a little bit responsible for. Hardy was able to get his world in Soapstone through unemployed alcoholic. Unemployed alcoholic allowed him to have his door in Soapstone. I don't think that happens if they didn't go if unemployed alcoholic wasn't on that show. I don't
Hardy
think that
personally
happened.
told me that they had the conversation after they met up at your show
There
that
you
day.
go.
Yep,
So
you're absolutely right, man.
And
I'm gonna get
that's
off the
the
stage,
magic
man.
for
Thank
me.
you. I just wanted to take that.
Definitely, so and that's the magic that happens within that space. The dialogue that people have to where they can actually have these conversations and meet between the lines, because sometimes, I mean, they don't you wouldn't have those conversations unless you're in that space. So I think that particular thing I was most proud of in regard to that happening. So
You've
the show
talked
is
about
definitely
the
working.
fact that people are
Where's she
actually.
going?
Oh, you come on back. Come on back. Come on back. Come on back. We'd love to have your question. As you're walking up, we were talking about how your world has facilitated a lot of these experiences that people have had because of your guests, but also after the show. I've stuck around and people are connecting. People are like, "Oh, let me friend you. Oh, you got a world. Oh, well, I need help with this." Like so many connections made through that. Mad Brookie, welcome. Please share with us if you have a question or if you have a comment or anything. But welcome and great to have you.
on speak.
You're not muted. Can you hear anything?
Nope.
She might be in party.
She might be in party chat, man.
Oh, okay. She might be in a party.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't see lips moving, but could be. But yeah, if any of y'all have questions, I mean, definitely come on up. El Blanco, please come on up.
Uh-oh. I'm not a gamer, man. Can't drive. Can you hear me?
No worries, no worries. That's why I put the guardrails up so you can't fall out.
Right.
Welcome.
Great, man. I'll drive out of the cliff. Okay, check it out. All right, Burn. Hey, in your opinion, what's your take on how the horizon is going to change when the corporations come after these few 14 million hit in 2023?
Whoa.
Oh, corporation wide. That's I don't honestly, I don't know how it's going to pan out. I don't know if the big corporations are going to take over and become the world's, if you will, and we become nothing more than consumers. I couldn't tell you. I don't know how Meta is going to handle that and things like that. I don't know what the spinoff of that is going to be. If that's going to allow other people within who do create even more opportunities to have jobs and things like that, or to create even more. I don't know if they're going to come in here with their own team of creators and things like that and try to just create a monopoly. I would, I wish I knew, but I mean, to give you a concrete answer, I wouldn't. I'm not smart enough to even give that to you. But the the options honestly are limitless. I mean, there's so many different ways that they can go about it. I mean, they can, like Wendy's did. Wendy's came in here and recruited people right within this space to create that build. So hopefully a lot more of that happens and things like that. And then we have more opportunities to have these type of discussions and to learn more and learn how to create more revenue for ourselves within this space. I'm hoping. I hope, personally speaking, I hope the opportunity once these big corporations come in creates opportunities for all of you guys to even monetize even more and to get your create to allow more people to know who you guys are. If
Can I
that
give my
helps.
opinion? Can I give my
Go
opinion on that?
right ahead, young. I mean,
Yeah, for
okay,
sure. Speak on it.
All right, I've been in quite a few meetings because a lot of people don't know law in here. They don't know law. We're not supposed to know law unless you want to go to school and specialize in it. But a lot of people are under the misconception that just because they're in here, that because they agreed to come in here and utilize this platform, that you give up your intellectual rights. You really don't. You know what I'm saying? You really don't. But if a corporation comes in here and they're competing, they come with capital, all this capital funding, right? And they can just snatch up some of the best artists, right? And have them work for them. Then that means you're definitely giving up your intellectual property, because under employee relationship, you're waiving that, like work for hire. It's it's black and white. But the agreement that you have, just like any other agreement with any other platform, and you just come in and you just check a box and say I agree, that's a unilateral agreement. That's a unilateral contract. You can always revoke that. You can rescind your signature on that. You can maintain control of your intellectual property. So I've been trying to get people to understand that they need to incorporate themselves, and they don't need to incorporate just an LLC or something like that. They need to really incorporate so they can get access to corporate funding, so you can be on the outside like all the other corporations on the outside looking to put something on the inside so they can take advantage of this market. When the market comes, you're not going to compete with corporations. They come with corporate funding. They'll come in here and anybody who's never made $100,000 or $200,000, to be working for a company to do development, they're going to take that. But they're going to forfeit all the opportunity by being first to have their own corporation here and make millions and make tens of millions, as opposed to coming in and just getting a nice little salary because the corporation is going to outdo you. The corporations will come in. They will hire your best artists in here. They will get them under their belt. They will come in and have marketing. that you've never seen before. You won't be able to compete with them on the marketing. And next thing you know, when things start changing, it's other ways to make money now. Then these accounts may start costing to have an account. It may start costing it per world. It may never know. So we have to be in a position to have our chess piece on the board too. And that chess piece is a corporation. It is an entity that can get corporate funding, get commercial money. And because the numbers are already projected, we got 14 million people coming. So the year after that, you can probably have 14 times four, or maybe even five, maybe even 10. But it's going to keep exponentially growing as the world moves toward this, because that's how it's going to happen. They already forecasted this. So it shouldn't be hard to put together a feasibility plan and put together a marketing plan, because the numbers are already there saying that this movement is taking place. And how do you know it's taking place? Because all governments and all other think tanks has already projected we're moving into blockchains, we're moving into VR, we're moving toward augmented reality. It's already going in that direction. It won't be hard to find the information you need to have a solid plan. So I've been posing these questions. I've been on podcasts. I've been on just talk shows up in here, and it seems like popular opinion is winning, as opposed to this real legal technical sound knowledge that I'm trying to drop on people, because the most important people are the builders and the artists, because that's what give this place life. They're gonna come and snatch them up pretty soon, but they're only gonna wait till the numbers are here, because the corporations go after the numbers, and the numbers are coming. So I just wanted to see what your take was on it, and then if I had the opportunity to say that, I appreciate it. Yeah.
No, I appreciate that perspective and input, because we had, I don't know if y'all know Melissa Knox. She's a CPA for corporations, and she was talking to the point of making sure that not only are you coming in here and you're creating worlds and trying to get clients based on that portfolio worlds, but nobody's going to come in here and sign a contract with an avatar. So you really do need to get out of the metaverse. You need to get into these Zoom meetings, get into these real world situations where they're going to ask you questions about your business. Make sure you actually have a business, that you have, a contract that protects you and them. And then from the financial standpoint, making sure that not only are you collecting that check when they, get that world delivered, but you're also being responsible with it, reinvesting it in your business, making sure you pay your taxes on it. If you have payroll, making sure that you're covering that. And all the things that go into having a business, you really need to have yourself an accountant, a CPA, somebody that's looking in to make sure that you're actually doing it right. But also, you're also going to need somebody that's going to help you grow your business as well if you don't understand business. Because if you haven't incorporated a business and you're out here doing side hustle work, and you're asking why are people charging so much money, well, it's because they have to put that money into their business. 40% off the top is pretty much taxes. Then you got to worry about all their expenses that are going into it, tracking that, making sure their books are up to date, that they're accurate, paying their taxes quarterly or at least biannually. Like, there's so much that goes into it, and all you're thinking about is, well, I only charge $100 for an asset. I only charge $500 for a world. I don't think they should be making $5, 10, $15,000. Well, you're going to always think like that until you actually incorporate a business and start realizing the expenses, and you're going to need to hire people, because you can't do it alone. You need a team of people if you want to get on that level. So I definitely appreciate your perspective about your thoughts on corporations coming in, about taking up all these talented artists. And I think that does lead back into what Lakes is doing with the creator directory, giving people an opportunity to be seen, getting these creators, these builders and scripters in that directory, what they specialize in, what those specific skills are. And that way people can come find them for the smaller jobs, but also come to Vidyuu and then recruit through Vidyuu the people in that directory and people in the community to work on these projects. But when it comes time, and if a corporation does come in and say, all right, we're going to take Tone, we're going to take Burden, we're going to take Super, we're going to go ahead and take L Trim, and we're going to take everybody involved in Fashion Week, and we're going to go ahead and bring a fashion brand in here, and y'all exclusively work for us now, and you're going to make worlds every 3 months. Well, we've just taken six people out of the, out of this uh, metaverse that could be out here creating more worlds, that are creating community gatherings, creating these amazing fashion worlds to get them on the map. maybe to create their own fashion, that's inspired by what's in the metaverse in the real world. You never know, but I totally get what you're saying, and I'm so glad. And I would love for you to come back and talk more on that. So please come back next Sunday. I really want that to be one of the topics about corporations and the impact that could have, because that's actually one of the topics that right now I'm trying to work on from panel picker at South by Southwest. Corporations coming into the metaverse, and how does that affect technology and the growth of the metaverse? So that's right on time. So please, next Sunday, come back and connect with me on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay, because I do have a long-term plan for the whole um, family that's here right now. All the people that's here right now have a long-term plan. I've been just trying to get that out. But like I said, it's a lot of
Well, let's
opinions.
connect because we can put that on the Vidyuu Nights channel, and we can get that to a wider audience. So let's definitely connect and let's make that a topic.
No doubt. All right,
And
appreciate
real
y'all.
quick, from a money standpoint, honestly, I mean, as a builder or a creator, and when these companies or these corporations do come in, I would personally don't pigeonhole yourself into one corporation. I mean, you're gonna have a multitude of corporations coming up in here. Don't pigeonhole yourself into one corporation and think that's just gonna be it. I mean, I think a lot of these builders are becoming like quote unquote private contractors, if you will, or like their own entities to where they can just, I guess, create their own lane and make their own, I guess, yeah, create their own lane in regards to who they are as a builder and things like that. And they don't have to be, okay, I got what Gucci coming in here. Gucci wants you to do X, Y, and Z. Okay, but I'm a private contractor. I don't work directly for you. So, you know what I'm saying? I have the leeway to say, okay, Gucci come here. Well, Nike is over there. I'm going to do something with Nike too. Don't just pigeonhole yourself. I don't know what the laws that are going to be in regards to that, but if there's an avenue to where you don't have to do that, don't pigeonhole yourself into just one particular entity or one particular thing, because like, as you said, the corporations are coming and the money is definitely going to be there.
For sure.
All right,
For
fam.
sure.
All right, fam. What's up?
Cool,
What's
man.
up?
I appreciate you. All right, Michelle, come on up to the mic. Appreciate you being here. Talk to
Hello.
us.
First of all, I love being in Horizon Live with Oculos 410.
Damn. Can I have you
Exactly.
do the intro for my world?
Hey, let me know. Let
Yo,
me know.
hold up.
I legit was ready to request me a love
Yo,
song and shout it out to my
you
wife,
got a
and
radio voice
like that
from
Oh,
was
heaven.
yeah.
Hold up.
a love song too. A love song too.
Go ahead.
Some
Oh yeah.
people want it all. Yep.
Well, all right.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. I
Yeah.
mean, even if you just stepped up to flex, you did it. But if you have a question,
Yo,
please
I
also
can't
damn.
share.
help it. I can't help it because it has something to do with my. I didn't
Sometimes
step up to
too.
flex. I can't help it. I'm kind of.
No, that
I'm a performer.
Man, that's flex away.
I
Flex
mean, go
away.
ahead.
Yeah.
We're
And
friend.
so.
I'm gonna friend you right now while you flexing,
Okay.
and then if you got
I'm,
a
All
I'm
question,
right.
behind
please
him.
feel
I'm
free.
behind him. I'm behind him. I'm behind him. We
I
good. Here we
appreciate
go.
that
Yep.
burden of proof. You're away.
Man,
Come
Oh
back.
yo, you
Jesus.
sound like
Thank
Siri.
you. Well,
You
Siri
sound
would
like my
appreciate it.
GPS.
Hello.
I'm more
All right,
like
all right, all right.
Alexa.
Let's
All
get
right,
to the
continue.
question because I really do want people to enjoy
Yeah, I didn't
not
even
only
know
the
what was on the
content
whole
but what you
time.
have to say
I
as
didn't even
well.
know until I got to the next word.
That's dope.
All right, here we go. So, what it has to do with is
Huh?
the arts and education. I heard you mention burden of proof, and y'all talk about,
Hell no, I
the
ain't even know
youth
that.
and building programs. So, within this space, can you see bringing the arts
Bro,
as a
you
whole
know, I
and
had,
merging it with tech, such as stuff that I just did? That was part of my question. That's why I kind of did that. So the tech, the voiceover, the AI, the interaction, the music, and all of these things to help educate while they're learning tech and building, while they're performing and alongside the game. Can you see that and in what you do and all of this? Both of you, either of you.
Well, I would think it's happening already. I think
Mm-hmm.
Hardy West has created that hip hop university, if I'm not mistaken. And
Ah,
if you go up to it and you literally go up to it and just there is a voiceover and they're teaching you about hip hop. There's another one teaching you about break dancing and things like that. So
I
to your
love
point,
it.
Those things are already happening in here. So yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Uh, all right. Well, I'm excited to be a part of it. Me and some
Small
of my
honey
people,
child.
I'll be bringing them in. Hopefully, I'll get Snoop over here too. Snoop Dogg.
Hey, that's what's up. I mean, one of the things that I want to share with you, if you're not already aware, is that the metaverse is limitless. I mean, aside from the world's capacity that you have within this world, the ability to create within that object capacity, that geometric complexity, if you ever get a chance to go into world creation, you'll see there are those limitations to what you can build. But as far as the experience that you create, the experience that Burden creates at his show, the experience here to be able to share with these guests everything that whoever's on stage is going through, those experiences, those gems, that advice, like these are things that you could bring in here organically and create it yourself, something of your own. And this is a very basic stage setup, and people still come out here to show love and support. And you could do the same thing, or you could hire somebody, or you could connect with people and somebody take interest in what you're doing and want to build it for you. There's so many options out here that you don't have to limit yourself to what you think you can do. Just connect with people and you'll be able to create whatever you want. And that's what I love about it in here.
Well, I so appreciate it. I've been on here maybe about a week, and this is one of the best spaces I've been in, especially for
Whoa.
information and great interviews. So this is amazing. Thank you so
Awesome. Awesome.
much. All
See, I
right.
love it.
Thanks,
A
guys.
week you've been in
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Horizon and already having a great experience
Already
connecting with
got the right
people.
connects. Awesome.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, that's why I love this show and I love other shows like it, like Burdens, because you get the chance to go explore, meet people, find out information that's helpful. We've heard from people talking about the legalities of, being in here and selling worlds and assets, creating a business, protecting yourself by creating an LLC, doing your taxes, getting yourself a good CPA, talking about how to learn, how to build, how to script. I mean, we've talked about personal life experiences, mental health, everything that we could talk about. Literally, we've talked
Thanks.
about literally just on this one show. That's what really means the
Definitely.
world to me, is be able to give these people the experiences that, like I said, when I got here, it didn't exist. So thank you for sharing that, Michelle. Appreciate you. And make sure you go into your menu, go into your people tab down the bottom, and accept that friend request from us, because we'd love to connect with you, of course, in the future.
Straight up.
Oh, man, this is what really, just like somebody asked me earlier today. They said, "What is it that keeps that fire burning? Like when you first got here to now, you're still passionate about community. You're still supporting the community. What keeps that fire burning?" Right there, that very question, the very
Right.
experiences, ugly superbot flying in to do recording, like all these things are just part. No, but for real though, all of
I
these
love it.
experiences, and I want to shout out MF Son. Please come on up here, step up to the mic, because you've been shouted out a couple of times, and Burden, I'm sure, wants to shout you out again.
Oh man, Burden can't shout me out before I shout him out. Burden, let me tell you, man, one of the pioneers of community. We appreciate you, brother, and we
He
love
said
the
that to
things that
you
you
right over
do.
my shoulder.
Listen, I swear the way
Go
you
ahead,
bring
Burden.
people together
Switch
is
seats.
just the way you bring people together is great. Oculos, you do the same thing, and again, I thank you both for doing this because it's important for us to understand where we're coming from, where we're going, and how
Take
we
your
are
seat.
connected. We're connected, So I thank you. I thank you so much for all you guys do, for real, for real.
I mean,
So
MF Son, you out
I've
here
been
doing
talking
it.
you up since
Go ahead.
I've been talking you up since you haven't been here, and just letting them know you are one of the few that definitely puts their money where their mouth is, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And
$100.
I mean, with the multitude of things that you are doing within this metaverse, and you have your hands in personally, to take your personal time to recreate that space called Ask the Q, Speak Your Truth. I want to say thank you, like
It's an
for
honor,
real,
yo.
for real.
It definitely is an
Like
honor.
for
It
real.
definitely is an honor to do that. It definitely is an honor. And again, it's a community build. It's some of the greatest builders that we have on this platform. The reason why I
True.
wasn't here, usually I am here at Horizon Lives, usually most weeks, but I'm doing Sunday's Best right now. So that young lady, great voice. I'd love to talk to you afterwards. But Sunday best is happening.
He's legit.
I love it.
But usually I am. Usually I am here. And I love again. I love it. I love it. And it's an honor to take on the responsibility of creating a set that everybody's gonna love and understand about questions and how we can come together and come up with solutions if we ask the right questions and talk about the right solutions. And so I'm just so excited. I'm excited.
I appreciate you,
MF
man.
son,
For real, for real.
I mean, Burden, I want to ask you about. I know you only have right now your burden of proof or your
Yes, sir.
FQQ speak your truth, and you talked about your future build. Have you wanted to collaborate with other people in that have worlds out there, either already existing or maybe just people that you really want to work with? I know you have a bunch of people that are going to be super team coming in and redoing the Ask Your Q, Speak Your Truth. But on the flip side, is there a world that you just want to get in and say, let me try my hand at something in here, or I got some ideas and I really want to work with somebody? Is there anybody out there that you really just want to work with or
Well,
collaborate with
honestly,
on something else?
I'm not really. I'm not the biggest.
What the
I'm
weird
not in
ass
a
world.
rush to like sit here and like figure out this whole building process, if you will. I know how to use. I know how to put together some things. I built the exterior for Ask the Q, Speak the Truth. Angel literally put the majority of the artwork in there, so I do know how to quote unquote build, if you will. But in regards to like collaborating or anything like that, that me personally, that's not my lane, if you will. But I've been tested. I've been a tester for a lot of people's worlds and things like that. I've given my input from my perspective, and people have taken it and utilized it to enhance their builds and things like that. Crack Goddess and Southern Edible, Copper Chosen, they've allowed me to be on builds that they've created and things like that, and share my own experiences. Katniss, they have a unfiltered podcast. They've allowed me to be a part of that as well. So I mean, anything that I've ever could dream of being a part of or wanting to do within this horizon space, I think I've generated the community's trust to know that I know what I'm talking about. And when certain people have certain ideas, and they just know that I'm somebody that is trustworthy enough, if you will, to come down there and give my input, and punctual enough, to go down there and zap in when they need me and things like that, to offer my assistance. So I mean, I think I'm already doing it, and I'm definitely appreciative to everybody who's allowed me to, come to their worlds, test it, give my input, and learn from them as well. Because I literally sit there and just watch, and sometimes I'm just in amazement at what their brains tell them to do with those shapes. I sit there, I'm like, your brain told you to do that? Like, my brain would never tell me to do that with those shapes. So I mean, just to sit back and just watch these people in action, I'm personally in awe, and I'm always gaining information from these guys. So definitely, it's already happening.
I know I've said it a couple of times, but every time I glance out into this audience after a topic change, there's more people out here, and you've shouted out so many creators today. I mean, if I go to watch it back, there's probably 30 people that you've shouted out, if I'm even trying to keep count. And the people you keep shouting out are just incredible. The not just creators, but community builders. People are out here connecting, offering, to be of service of others, and just trying to be a part of this community in here. I mean, you might not even think about it, but you really are a community leader in your own, not just in Ask Your Q, Speak Your Truth,
Burden
but
for
you are
mayor.
a community leader. You are bringing people together. You're connecting people. You're being a positive vibe and a positive, light for people to, use as a blueprint on what they could be doing in here. And you've shouted out, people that are working to help people outside of this place. Like, there's so many people that you've shouted out, and not one of them I could say, I wouldn't put them in that list, or maybe they haven't earned a right to be up there with the rest of those people you shouted out. Every single one of those people that you shouted out literally are on my list of just amazing people, not even just creators, but amazing people. So I'm really
Definitely
grateful that you've recognized so many people tonight. I
appreciate it.
don't even know really where to go from there on the shout outs, because you literally shouted out so many people in this community. And I think that's testament to the number of people that you've connected with. So is there
Definitely.
anybody that you haven't connected with that you want to out here? Like, I mean, is there somebody
Yes.
that you just
Mark
have
Zuckerberg.
seen and you just haven't?
Period.
I knew it.
Mark Zuckerberg. I need that interview. I need that interview. Period. Period. If
I
he
think
listening
you've
right
said this
now, I
before
need
too,
that
haven't
interview.
you?
Holla at us.
You have
We
said this
need that
before.
interview. This is your
Seriously,
space. Let's go.
you've said this before, haven't you? Because I think I've heard you say it, but also that answer came too quick.
I
Like,
no, because I mean, like when you know what you want, you know what you want. Like in regards to doing what I'm doing in this interviewing and things like that, I'm like, okay, well, we've had legs, we've had waffle copter, we've had. I'm trying to get skitter. I mean, there's like the more I go up, I know conversations are happening. So I mean, hopefully somebody touch him, and he can come down here in his avatar and give us some wisdom on what's going on in regards to the future of Meta, Horizon World, and things like that. Because I think everybody would like to know that, especially with you guys having so much time invested in this space. I mean, why not? You know, I mean, we've touched base with an assortment of people. You know, I mean, why not? So I think that's a on my bucket list. That would be the one interview that I would. That would be the one person I definitely would want to touch base with and really pick his brain about where he sees this metaverse thing going and in the future.
That might be a scary
Definitely.
topic because he's probably the one person that has the influence to make it happen. So
Right.
that's actually
Exactly.
that's a really good trade off there. Um,
Definitely.
I gotta ask you though, if you had Zuckerberg on your show, I know you've been very protective of your guests, but let's say you did have Zuckerberg on the show and everybody's, come to the table with their grievances. They're not in the monetization program. They don't have capacity. They're not being recognized by Meta. All of the things that people can find negative in here. How would you handle that? Because that's a
Okay, so
huge
this I'm gonna let
responsibility.
everybody know this. So I've already had this thought in my brain already. First of all, it's going to be a closed session, invite only. Just so we're going to just streamline all of that. So I can ensure that, and then once that happens, once the closed session is established, and then those who are invited come to the show, we're going to let out a disclaimer and let them know, like, look, this man is here to give information. This man isn't here to be criticized or judged or anything like that. So let's come in here with an open mind and just have the discussion. Whatever's on your mind, let's just have it out and let's allow the dialogue to happen. And that's it. And that man is worth a billion plus. He knows how to handle himself. You better figure it out. But nah, I think
I like that you already
he's
got a
been
plan
on
though.
enough. Yo, definitely. But it would not be a public setting because I don't want to disrespect. No, and not that I disrespect not that I feel like I'm disrespecting anybody else by doing it, but that the beads, the going in and out with the beads and things like that, for something like that, nah, we're not doing that. We're gonna make sure we create the best setting for this guy, so he can come in here and he can feel comfortable and he can give the information without feeling like he's being interrupted or things like that. So I definitely have a plan, sir. Definitely. So if you know him, tell him I said what's up. Tell him we ready. No, we're not ready yet. Whenever MF Son gives the green light, we're gonna be ready. Cause
So MF
I'm
Sun
no,
is the
but then
plug
again,
right
I don't
now.
know.
Very
I
soon.
might want him.
Very soon.
I
It
might
don't
want him
matter
in the
when.
old
You can do
spot.
it whenever.
Right. So definitely. Oh, who knows,
We'll be
man? But
ready.
definitely, I definitely have a plan for him. Definitely have a plan for him. Got to make all our guests
We've
comfortable.
only seen Zuckerberg once in the metaverse, as far as an interview. We've
Right.
seen him showing off the AI bot, builder bot. That was kind of a look into the future. We have the asset library, so it's not too far off to be able to say, builder bot, pull out a tree, or whatever we name these
Right.
assets. So I think that's something that we may have forgotten about that might be coming. So since that interview, it was more of like a feature show. The only interview was right on stage with Lakes and with Flutter and with John McClay and with Ashes,
Right.
really
Right.
talking about monetization in the metaverse and exactly how they would use that, to actually have a career here. And I think that was 6 months ago, maybe even
Mm-hmm.
longer. So I think
Yep.
we're due another talk, and I haven't seen anybody on these stages from Meta. Because even before that, when they were announcing the Creator Fund, that was Vivek and I can't remember the other person that was on stage. But those are the top of the food chain when it comes to Horizon product. So I'm pretty sure there's got to be another one in the works somewhere. So now's
Right.
your opportunity. Go ahead and pitch it right there. Go ahead and pitch it. The next
Oh, he
show.
know. Hey, hold up. He
Not the
know
super.
anyway because every time I see him post on Instagram, I'm asking the question, so I know he knows. So Mark, sir,
No,
we
right
here.
here. Right here, that one.
Oh, this one. Oh, here we
Yep.
go. Mark, Mr. Zuckerberg, we here. The community needs some questions answered. If you got the time, ask the Q, speak your truth. Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern time. If you there, let us know. Hit me on the DM. The same user tag on my Instagram. Would love to hear from you, sir. Appreciate you.
There it is. So that's the real
And
right
there it
there.
is.
It wasn't rehearsed. It wasn't,
Nope.
pre-stage. That was straight from the heart. I would love to
That's
have you
it.
on the show.
That's
I
it.
mean,
Would love to
I was
have him.
talking earlier. Somebody was telling me, they said, how come you weren't on stage for the announcement of monetization? How come you're not pushing to try and get Zuckerberg in your show? And I explained to him. I said it's not about not wanting Zuckerberg on the show, but it's not my goal. Like, I'm not pushing for that, because there's two things to where you set a goal. It has to be something that's attainable, but also it has to be something that's outside of your reach. So that way you
Mm-hmm.
strive for it. So you build to it. So you can set
Right.
small goals that are attainable to help you get them small wins. And then you can have those goals
Right.
that are stretch goals that are just something that you really want to push hard and work towards and get. For me, it's not a goal, because I honestly feel if it were to happen, I don't want it to be like this build up of it's about to happen and then it happens and then what's next? Like, where do you go from here in
Right.
Horizon? For me, it would
Mm-hmm.
be, I would love the opportunity to talk to people at Meta, have them come here and share. We got new features coming or new opportunities or whatever it may be, because they're
Right.
people. From the
Right.
very bottom to the very
Facts.
top of Meta, people are people. So whether it's Zuckerberg, whether it's people on the product team, whether it's developers, whether it's just people who are spending every day trying to help clean up these bugs, everybody in between, it's just people. So I really want people to feel as though, regardless of who you are, you still have the same seat on this couch or any other couch,
Facts.
and
As the
I
CEO.
think that they
Yep.
should feel comfortable and welcome. Yeah. So
Facts.
it
Yes,
doesn't
sir.
matter.
Agreed.
I would rather have more people on this couch that are here to share information, help build community. And if it is Zuckerberg, if it's somebody else at Meta, or if it's another creator, or even someone new that this is their first week, I still want them to feel welcome on this couch and to be able to share whatever their experience is and help
Right.
others understand a little bit more about who they are. So,
100%.
but I appreciate
100%.
your enthusiasm. I mean, you were right
Oh,
on
you
it.
already
Like, let's
know.
go, get on my stage.
Shoot high, aim high, touch the stars. You still grab the moon. We all right.
There you go. There you go. So Burden, I would love for you to obviously share with everybody where they can find you, what time your show is, anywhere they can find you on social media, and then anything you got in the works. Please go ahead and share that with everybody.
Oh well, Burdenofproof. Again, it's my user tag. I carry this the same name on my Instagram account. The show is Ask the Q, Speak Your Truth. Uh, every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern time. We have adult conversations about a lot of the things that's going on within the metaverse. We have a lot of the shakers and go-getters within the metaverse that come to the spot and offer information on scripting, monetizing, how to build these worlds, who to contact. If you're looking for somebody that's going to do live streaming, 9 times out of 10, we have some of those people within the crowd and things like that. And we network and we figure out how to create the space that we want within this metaverse space. And it's consistently been working every Wednesday, 10 o'clock Eastern time. And I, for one, am very appreciative of everybody that has been showing the show support and and offering up information and putting their guard down and allowing themselves to be vulnerable within that space, because I know it's not always easy to be vulnerable around people you might not have met anywhere else outside of this Oculus. So again, I want to say thank you guys and I appreciate it. Outside of this, man, I'm just doing my thing for these kids outside in my reality, making sure I try to create every parallel for these guys to succeed, and create as many options for them that I didn't have as a young man. So I mean, whether it's in the reality or in the virtual world, my plate in regard to helping people is full. So I mean, the more the better. I mean, I love it. I enjoy it, and I look for the challenge to do even more. So yeah, that's it.
That's awesome. And if y'all got any last questions, please step up to the mic. That's why we're here. We want y'all to ask questions if you got them. Feel free. The mic is open every time we're here, every week, every Sunday. So if you got questions for Burden, questions for me, or you just got something you want to speak on, please come on, step up to the mic. I want to thank everybody for being here and sticking around. We did this an hour earlier for the sake of we were running until 2 a.m. on the East Coast. And number one, I still got a day job. So I still got to be able to get up in the morning.
Facts.
Number two, 2 a.m. getting into bed. My wife don't appreciate that. So 1 a.m. is bad enough. 2 a.m. is real bad because, you know, it's late.
I bet.
Number
Right.
three, I respect other people's time too. So rather than go until 2 a.m., 1 a.m. is long enough. So I definitely am going to wrap the show. But I got one more question for you, Burden.
Yes,
So
sir.
you've been in the metaverse since February. You've met a whole lot of people. I know your goal is Zuckerberg. But is there anybody in here that you were surprised by, whether they went above and beyond for you, or they just had skills beyond what you could imagine when you first met them until you learned who they were? Because a lot of people that I've met, I usually think that everybody's capable of anything, whether it's creating, scripting, community building. But I want to shout out somebody who literally showed up at tours, asked me, how do I find my community? This is World Tours. You say you can connect me with any resource I'm looking for. I'm looking to find more people in the Asian community. How do I do that? And I said, you know what? I don't know if there is one. How about build it? And in 3 weeks, she turned around and built World of Asia and connected with
Mm.
a ton of Asian creators and feature their doors, and now hosting events, doing gatherings. And Amaya A, I mean, she has been literally working nonstop to help create
Mm.
this environment for when Asian countries make it into Horizon, all based off a conversation saying, "Why don't you go ahead and try and build it? If it doesn't exist, go ahead and build it." And she literally took that and created an entire community. And the comment
Mm.
she said to me was, "I didn't know there were that many countries in Asia. I don't know what I just took on, but I'm so overwhelmed because there's so many different countries in Asia, and I don't know how to accurately represent everyone." And I said, that's what it's about. Network with more people from Asian countries and have them help you, because they're going to be just as excited about finding people who speak their native language, who are from their same country, and be able to connect with people over common interests. And that was
Definitely.
just my, like, I was so impressed that I mean, I can't say impressed because it wasn't an impressive thing. It was an inspiring thing. I was so inspired by just, she went and did it. Is there
Right. Right.
anybody that really like inspired you or went above and beyond that you just kind of were like, wow, I can't believe that you had the capability beyond what I even expected, and something you did great?
She's not in this audience, so but I'm gonna shout out anyway. She's nursing a neck injury right now.
Oh no.
But
Wherever you are, I feel better.
um, Crack Goddess has been very instrumental in regards to motivating me in the manner in which I've been motivated within this space. Um, one,
Confetti for crack.
she did something. She did something on a Wednesday on no notice and covered for me. Somebody was actually, I was supposed to have this one person be a guest on the show, and they didn't come or whatever have you. And she literally
Hmm.
opened up her life and gave her story like on a whim, you know what I'm saying, to help me out and to support me. And I'm very big on watching people in their realities in the metaverse. And she's exactly who she says she is within this metaverse in reality. And I've watched her do certain things, and she's always been helpful to everybody. She's shown me so much and how to move about here and ask questions with people. I used to be scared to ask people, would you like to be a guest on my show? But in watching how she maneuvered around people and things like that, I was like, she ain't scared of nobody. So that that taught
Facts.
me how to be a lot more easygoing and to just to understand, like, it's just an avatar. You just ask the question. I'm like, wow, the way she runs down on people, she calls it rundown. So the more like the way she does her thing, like I've learned a lot, and I've really been motivated by people like that, like MF Sun and things like that. Like I'm real big on people who are exactly who they say they are in reality in this metaverse. Like that's big to me. That's the validation I look for and things like that, because those are the type of things that motivate me. Those are the type of people that motivate me and keep me pushing and allow me to just to know that, okay, it's all right. I can do this, you know what I'm saying? And to keep my show going by watching everybody else succeed in what they're doing. That gives me motivation. So definitely shout out. I mean, if I name some people, it's definitely MF Sun, and the way he moves in regards to his passion and what he does within the metaverse, and what Crack does with uh her candy covered grapes and things like that, and how she's definitely put that right in here, and she's actually building even more and more on that in real life and the way she moves. So I've been very observant and things like that. So ma'am, get better. What's up? I hope everything is cool with you and things like that. But she's definitely been a motivator for me and all these creators. Oh, he done spawned out. I got the whole show now? Yo, so this is what we doing. We ready? So again, I want to say, I don't know where he went. What, is that him coming?
Oh, there he is.
Oh yeah, that's him. Never mind. I'm about to close out the show for him.
Right.
Man, Horizon just.
I'm about to close out the show for you, sir.
I heard you. I was like, professional, my man. That's what I'm
You
talking
already
about.
know.
Just immediately stepping up to help. Like, seriously.
I got you.
I cannot thank you enough. I want to go back to Crack Goddess. Number one, please feel better. Shout out to you. Shout out to your business. When I first met Crack, I talked to her and she was like, yeah, I create candy coated fruits and it's called the Crack House. Make sure you check it out on Instagram. And I was like, stop it right now. You literally got a business called the Crack House. You're Crack Goddess, and you create these amazing looking candy coated fruits that you got people like literally addicted to. Like you have a good like business model of something that's so unique. And I was
But it's
instantly a fan.
reality because
Like,
I've been there in real life. I've literally been there. Like she's state is in Georgia, so I've been there. I mean, look, it's that good. If you're ever in Georgia and you are able to get down there, I highly recommend you take a trip and experience these candy covered grapes, because I was blown away. I was literally blown away, and I was like, wow, you really are doing this. So I mean, definitely shout out to her in regards to in that regard. Oh, she does improvs on Ladies of Comedy, the Ladies of Comedy Museum. She does improv with West Side Hove and Southern Edible. So on Thursdays, if I'm not mistaken, 11:30 is the showtime. If you guys are ever around and want to check out some comedy, MF Sun literally has real comedians that come to his house and utilize the Oculus to give a show. Like that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like that's dope for this community and the things that's going on in here. So definitely shout out to MF Sun in the ventures that he has. But yeah, Crack is definitely a part of the improv as well. She has her hands in a lot of things. She's also part of the Unfiltered podcast as well. She's part of the I don't want to mess it up, for something. She's doing the spades thing with her co-host. I mean, she has a multitude of things that she's doing. She also has an aspiring rap career that she's venturing in. I mean, she's a woman of many hats, and I definitely respect that, because it's hard to wear all those hats and meet the bill of every one of those hats and give it your all every time. So no, shout out to her for real. And I'm mad. I'm sad that the Oculus is causing her so much pain. She better get that strap. But no,
Yeah, we need
definitely.
to get we need to upgrade the head strap if it's causing any problems because Crack Goddess. I mean, like I said, you've been shouting out some incredible creators, and Crack
Yeah,
Goddess definitely deserves all those flowers for everything that she's doing in the real world, in the business world, and in the
straight
metaverse.
up.
I was
Facts.
hoping that I could find the world that she created, and she actually has examples of her candy coated
Fireworks.
fruits in it.
No, the candy farm.
She has
She
a
has a candy
fireworks. She
farm.
has a fireworks world that you guys can venture to. That she has the her candies in. If you give me 1 second, I could try to find it for y'all.
Yeah, because I don't remember how she got the name spelled, but make sure that if you haven't connected with her, connect with her when she comes back. Especially check out all of her worlds, and if you are in
Facts.
the area in Georgia, go check out and support her real world business. I think
It's
you
called
can get it
Fireworks of the
shipped.
Sea. Fireworks of
Fireworks
the
at Sea.
Sea.
There you go.
No, you can't get it.
The
You can't get it shipped. You can't get it shipped. But the space that she has
That's
them in
right.
is called Fireworks of the Sea. I tried to get mine shipped to California, and she said I couldn't get it done. So I think in regards to the fruit, I think
I think it was the
it'll be
freshness. Yeah.
yeah. There you go.
I'm sorry, I had to come up and give a shout out to
Yep.
Crack as well. The name of the place is called the Candy Orchard, and
There
that's
you
where
go.
you
Candy
can. She
Orchard.
teaches about the candy and the fruit and how you're able, just how she does it. It's very interesting. She did it. Her mom taught her how to do it, and it's really cool. She even has a pickled candy. So it's a pickle that she dipped in candy. Like, it's sick. I heard it's crazy. And you got to experience it.
I'm not eating that thing. She gave me one of those. I was like, yeah, that's the only one I didn't eat.
Yep. Pick and
Definitely, definitely.
learn
But no,
fun facts about fruit, explore the orchard,
yeah,
take selfies with your favorite candied fruit. So, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, there's no limits in here. If you want to bring your business
none.
in, if you want to create a hangout, if you want to create a space for people to talk, if you just want to have a place where you and your close crew can just get together without being bothered and have a closed session, it's up to you. Whatever you want to create. Like, there's nothing holding you back.
Facts.
We got artists in here that are expressing all of their creativity through their art. We've got people in here creating amazing experiences for others. So I mean, if there's an idea and you think I can't do it because I don't have this or I don't have that, just get started and network with people because you never know. Somebody's
Right.
going to you just take interest in what you're doing and you'll be like, "Hey, I'll hop in with you. Let's go ahead and get in
Yep.
edit mode. Let's go ahead and get it done."
Yes.
So I mean,
Facts.
that's exactly how you do it. Burden, if you can give anybody any advice out there, anything to close us out, please feel free. I would love to just have a couple of words from you that you would share with them as far as just anything in general.
Uh, if there was anything I could say to anybody, I would just say if you guys have a passion to do something within this metaverse, do it. I mean, whatever your passion takes you, don't be scared to use your imagination because this is the perfect space to do it. Think outside the box and don't limit yourself to anything. I don't even do that in the real world, so I'm definitely not going to do it in this metaverse. So definitely, if you
Amen.
have a passion for whatever your passion is, and it's driving you to do something, I mean, by all means, do it. Sit in that world and figure it out. I mean, there's a wealth of information for you guys around here, and if you guys need any type of help or guidance, I mean, there's so many resources within just this space right here that you can utilize. So I mean, I'm always willing to help. If I don't know the answer, I'm definitely willing to point you in the right direction. To somebody I know who definitely can help you. So if I can, don't limit yourselves to anything in this metaverse. If you have if you have a passion, go for it and do it. I mean, only person that can stop you is you. And if that was anything I can leave with you guys, I definitely that would be it. And have fun. That's it.
You know, it's a common theme. You are the only person who could do you in this whole world. So make sure you
That's it.
do it 100%. And the only person that's limiting you is you. So if you
It's
keep
you.
telling yourself you can't do it, you're not gonna be able to do it. So
You won't
just go
ever
out there and
do it.
do it.
Right.
And yep. So Burden, I'm gonna give you this opportunity. Go ahead and close out the super stream. How you was gonna close it out for me. I'm gonna go ahead and step over here. Go ahead and close out the super stream, and then we'll close out ours, and then we'll get some selfies with everybody.
Oh, cool. Oh, here we go. Right here, Super. You seeing me? We here, right? Let me make sure I ain't knocking nothing over in real life. Um, this is Burden of Proof. I was the guest speaker or guest on Horizon Live with Oculos. And we are here and we got to leave. So I want to say thank everybody for being a part of the show. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the support of us as creators and I guess I want to say OGs, if you will, of this metaverse situation, this metaverse space. I want to say thank you guys for coming through. I want to say thank you guys for staying up as long as you have. Thank you for all the support with Ask the Q Speak Your Truth. If you have any questions in regards to anything, I mean, Arculos is a community guide and everything else, and he does his thing a day in and day out. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask him. And I want to say thank you guys for showing this show support as well, and thank you guys for showing everybody support. I hope this was informative. Hope you guys got some information from it, and I look forward to meeting you guys within this metaverse. So enjoy your day tomorrow. I know it's the new work day, work week. Get the money in the real world so we can enjoy ourselves right here in the metaverse. And I'll see you guys next time. Later.
Hey, that's what's up. I
My
like
man.
how you kind of like you rode into it. Like in the beginning, you was a little like little choppy, but you
Yeah,
fell
it took
right
me a
into
minute.
it. Like you got to your footing. That's all right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna show you how it's done. All right, y'all. Make sure y'all check out Super Stream every time he's live. Make sure you follow him. That way you get the notification when he's live next. You never know where you're gonna find Super. Tonight he was here with me and with Burden and with Felso and a few others on Horizon Live with me, Oculus 410. So make sure y'all leave your comments down below if you want to hear something, if you want to see another guest on here, or if you just want to talk about the show. Make sure y'all drop them comments. Thank y'all for watching. I'm Oculus 410. This is Burden of Proof. We're on Horizon Live, and we out. And now, of course,
And
we're
there
going
it
to close out
is.
the Vidyuu stream. So the Vidyuu stream, I got to give it to y'all. So for all of y'all who are still up on the Vidyuu night stream, thank you for making this 1,000 subscribers tonight. Confetti all in the room. Y'all are a part of this tonight. Vidyuu Nights is now 1,000 subscribers, and we couldn't have done it without each and every one of y'all watching the stream. So make sure that y'all continue to follow. Make sure you continue to like, leave your comments, share, and of course, check us out every Sunday here, Horizon Live. We're here 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific, and we're going to keep doing it every Sunday as long as y'all want to watch. So our surprise guest next week, you got to show up to find out who it is. I'm Oculus 410. Thank you to Burden of Proof for coming out. Thank you for Felso for opening up the show. This is Horizon Live, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
All right, we out.